The shit we say before we start is the funniest stuff.
It usually is, but it gets in trouble.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Oh man, I dropped an S-bomb in the first couple of seconds.
Whose fault is that? Not mine for once.
No, it was me this time. Totally me.
I'm
Guys,
off the hook.
welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I'm your host, the Ranty Monkey. He's Jack. Say hi, Jack.
Hi, everybody.
We are, for those of you who are like, football. Yep, it's football. Look, we rarely talk about it, but this is the Super Bowl, and we got some stuff we have to discuss on this. But before we get into that, Jack, how you doing tonight, man?
Yeah, I'm all right. How are you?
I watched a good football game.
I don't know what that is.
I'm really full on tacos. Otherwise, I don't feel like discussing it, so we'll leave it at that.
Oh, fair enough. Just to let the audience know, since we are talking about football, I'm with you too, man. It's gonna be a great show.
For our foreign friends out there, we mean America football, not soccer, because
soccer's gay.
Yeah, like hella gay.
Yeah, keep your poor people sports to yourself.
Let's see. The Kansas City Chiefs, the Super Bowl champions for the second time in 4 years, Jack.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, for those of you who missed it. They come back in the fourth quarter. Well, actually, they come back in the second half, really. They barely played the first half of football. The Eagles had the ball like 3 times as long as the Chiefs did in the first half of football. They go into halftime leading 24-14. And it was a good game.
But who won the Kitten Bowl?
Do they still do that stuff?
I don't know. They used to. I don't have cable anymore, so.
So Kansas City will be the one burning down. Well, here's the thing, Devil's Advocate. Given the reaction of Philly fans right now, typically you have to worry about Philadelphia if the Phillies win or if the Eagles win, because they like to burn down their city when that happens. They might do it anyway, because they mad as a motherfucker. They mad, and that's fine. Be mad, but dang, y'all, relax a little bit. I take my football somewhat seriously, Jack. You know me. What?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's kind of hard when your team's the Chargers.
That's fair. I wouldn't riot if the Chargers ever won. They'd be, get him a defibrillator quick.
Something's gone horribly amiss. Real Wade wants you to check your DMs after the show.
Thank you, Frank. As a Giants fan, I love Andy Reid and Eagles in the Super Bowl. Laugh my ass off. I mean, there's so many things I want to talk about with this game. The Eagles, they are a good team. They're probably still the better team. They just shit the bed in the second half of this game. They really did. They just stopped playing as well. You can't exactly say the Chiefs played much better because they just really didn't get to play much in the first half. But, Jack, there's some controversy because there always is.
No, you mean aside from the fact that the NFL is rigged?
Well, it's not even rigged in this case, and you're gonna help the fucking people here with that kind of nonsense.
No, I see that there's the difference is I don't give a shit about the NFL at all. Real quick though, thank you, Evolved Potato. For all you Australians out there, they don't mean the AFL. They mean American football, otherwise known as rugby for pussies and babies. Yeah, American football.
Try it. They've had rugby players go out and play in American football and be like, damn, I don't know how y'all do this.
Well, they're not used to wearing all the armor. See, I maintain they should have weapons.
I like Smear the Queer too, but to call it a professional sport is kind of weird to me. Just saying.
Well, the gayers won't learn otherwise, right?
Also, thank you, Frank. Oh, hang on, it's loading up. Come on, you can do it. Loaded. Also, coworkers have said word is there was either going to be a party on Broad Street or they were all going to jail. Happy I'm outside city limits. I'm sure. I don't understand the people who do that. They did that when the Red Wings won. They started like tearing down parts of Grand Rapids. I'm like, that's Detroit. Why are you burning this city down?
Well, because Detroit already looks like it burned down.
Stop burning down your cities because your team wins. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it would seem to me that if your team wins, you go burn the opposing team's village down.
Right.
But I don't think they really grasp how feudalism was done.
Let's go burn and destroy the city we have to live in because we won. All right, I guess, you fucking weirdos. But Jack, we got to talk about this one play because it's the play that everybody's talking about. Oh, the bad refs. The refs were as much on the Eagles side as they were on the Chiefs side on this. For the record, I do want to point out, and I can have her verify this if we have to eventually, but my wife was getting mad at me because I was siding with the Eagles on a lot of stuff in this game because there were calls that went their way. I'm like, yeah, that's the way it should be called. Yes, that was a catch. Yes, that was a good play. I'm not just all up in Kansas City, but we got to talk about the holding call at the end of the game where everybody's like, it's not actually holding. And it largely comes from the announcer, who, by the way, should be fired from his job. Both of these announcers sucked ass. But this announcer tells everybody, oh, they're going to call it because he put his hands on him. He put his hands on the side of him. That's not why it was called holding. It was called holding because he ripped the guy's jersey. He was pulling the guy's jersey as the guy turns around. And it happens right before the replay that they show. And it's from a different angle. So every retard out there is just going with this. Even the guy who did it, guys, I need y'all to listen to me, okay? Because I know a lot of you are going to be mad that I'm saying this, that it absolutely was holding. The guy who did it has said, yeah, I was holding him. The guy who did it. So don't argue with me. Go talk to the guy who was doing the holding. Because even he said, yes, I pulled his jersey. So if you,
you don't, he was just pulling him in for a quick cuddle. That was cuddling, not holding.
There's a rule in the NFL besides the holding rule. And it is if you are seen pulling a jersey like that, they will throw the flag every single time. Period. End of story. If they see you pull a jersey, they're pulling the flag. That's just how it's always been. This is Kyle. Thank you. Hello, chat people, Monkey and Jack. It's my 28th birthday today. Well, another 3 hours for me, but it's my birthday. And the rest of the world have to Jack. Thank you so much for that. And this is for you, Kyle. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday, to you. Happy birthday, to you. Happy birthday, dear Kyle. Happy birthday to you. Damn it, Kyle. Kyle, I hope you have a great one, my friend. I really, really do. Ari says you can hold behind the line of scrimmage. You cannot pull jersey. You just can't. And you'll see this week after week after week when there's a holding call like that. You'll hear the announcers, sane announcers, not like that fucking retard who was announcing today. They'll go, yeah, if they catch you pulling the jersey, they'll throw that flag every time. Because that has always been a thing. Like, even before the more pussified rules of football today, you can't pull the jersey. It's going to get a flag every time. And in this case, Jack, I know you don't know football, but it ends up setting up the Chiefs to where they can run out the clock, kick the game-winning field goal, the end of the game. If that hadn't happened, there's still a chance they could have scored a touchdown or just a field goal. Gives the Eagles a couple of minutes to try to score. He shouldn't have pulled his jersey.
Alternately, the refs would have had to find another excuse to let the Chiefs win the game, right?
Well, I saw one person.
NFL so rigged.
Somebody said, "Oh, Mahomes telling the refs to call a penalty and them doing it. That's par for the course." I'm like, quarterbacks do that all the time. Quarterbacks will often yell at the referee that one of their guys was being held, and the flag was thrown before Mahomes said anything. So, I mean,
I'd like to point out to anybody following me on Twitter, if you see me commenting on football, it's just because I'm fucking around and I don't give a shit about the NFL at all. But a lot of people love this rigged conspiracy theory, and I am all on board.
Still behind the line of scrimmage, so no flag. You can't pull the jersey. You can't. It doesn't matter if you're behind the line of scrimmage or halfway to the fucking locker room. They're going to call that if they see it. There is no rule that you can pull their jersey before they leave the line of scrimmage. You can put hands on them, which you can't do. You actually have 5 yards to do that, where you can have a little tussling going on, but you can't pull the jersey.
So you can.
Is everybody new to football? I mean, this isn't even like a new kind of thing. This has been going on for a long time. It's not a conspiracy if it's true. The guy, I just want to point it out again. Even the guy, when he said it, he said, yeah, I was pulling his jersey. I was hoping they would let it slide. You don't have to let something slide that's allowed. I mean, I'm going to guess that the guy who did it is aware of what happened. I get it. Some of y'all really don't like that call. And I dare say that if the announcer hadn't said it the way he did, there'd be a lot less controversy over it. But he's the one who pretty much kicks off this, oh my God, they called it a holding. He doesn't even acknowledge that there was the pulled jersey there because the idiot didn't see it. He didn't pay attention to it. But yeah, that's what sets it up so the Chiefs win this. The truth of the matter is the reason the Eagles lost this game is because in the second half, they didn't play as well as they did in the first. It was them. It shouldn't have been called. It absolutely should have been called. I don't even know what to say to that. It shouldn't have been called. That rule that he broke there, they should not have thrown a flag on that. And what they should have done is fuck it, make up all new rules just for this one game. The last pass call could have gone for the Chiefs, aka the last one that got reviewed. But yeah, the last play was holding, and the second potential interception was a close call.
All right, well, I just looked up grabbing jersey in football, and the first thing that comes up is operations.nfl.com, the rules. No player shall grab the inside collar or the back or the side of the shoulder pads or jersey, or grab the jersey at the nameplate or above and pull the runner to the ground. This does not apply to a runner who is in the tackle box or to a quarterback that is in the pocket. Now, I didn't understand any of that, but there it is. That's what I read. There were words there.
Much of what they're talking about there is things like horse collaring is part of what they described there. But you just cannot pull the jersey. That holding call was bullshit. It wasn't. You're just wrong. If you think that holding call was bullshit, you're just literally wrong. You're just sorry. Those are the rules of football, and they've been that way since I've been watching the game. And I'm 47, Jack, and I've been watching at least since I was 5. I can't tell you if I knew about it when I was 5, but at least since I've been paying attention when I was at least 10. So 37 years it's been that rule at least. He barely tugged the jersey. Oh,
if he tugged it, then he's holding it. And
at all.
Holding onto a jersey is prohibited by the rules of the game, according to Metro League.
That's like saying, but I barely put my wiener in. You still did it, right? It was a weak-ass call. It was a good call. It was a weak-ass hold. He shouldn't have done that. There was no reason to have done it at that point. And the reason he does is because at this point, Juju Smith-Schuster, the guy who gets held on the call, is lighting them up. And they're not sure how to deal with him. Everybody's watching Kelsey, and they let the receivers go, the wideouts, who are just dinging them over and over and over again, making them look foolish. He lost speed and therefore missed the ball. No, he was never going to catch that ball. That ball was way overthrown even without the hold. Hey, that's why it's not pass interference. That's why it's holding. If it had been a catchable ball, then it's pass interference.
You know where you can grab a jersey? Soccer.
Can you?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, it says it right here. Big Soccer says shirt grabbing is not a foul. First, it's not described in the laws of the game. Holding is defined as a foul, but shirt grabbing is okay. So, yeah, Fruity Little Soccer, you can grab people's shirts.
That return kickoff. Are you talking about the punt? The return kickoff play by the Chiefs was legendary. Are you talking about the punt? The one that comes back for, it gets it all the way down to the 5-yard line. Actually set a Super Bowl record, which was cool. And yeah, that was a really cool. I'm surprised that play, that looked like everybody just fell asleep on the play. And it was, so weird. But really, really good run back. It was interesting. So then, Monkey, it should have been ruled an uncatchable pass. It doesn't have to be catchable for holding. That's the difference between pass interference and holding. That's why this is a 5-yard flag. The ball wasn't even in the air yet at the time. That's 5 yards, automatic first down. If it's a pass interference, it's at the spot of the foul, which actually would have worked out for the Chiefs better here if it had been pass interference. And then it's at the spot of the foul, automatic first down. Good game though. Now let's talk about something that maybe we can get you interested in, Jack. Let's talk about the halftime show. Jesus fucking Christ. I don't hate Rihanna. My wife's a fan. I've heard it from time to time. I don't hate her voice or anything like that. Nothing I go out of my way to listen to or anything. And it's not that I necessarily dislike the music that was played, but it's not football music. Why is it so hard to get the NFL to understand that, you want a thumping bass? Give me a screaming guitar. Give me heavy rock or heavy rap. That's what I want in my football music. I don't want Rihanna up there singing about whatever crap she sings, Diamonds in the Sky or whatever. I just country. No, I like country music, but I can't think of much that I would like. Yeah, put that in the Super Bowl.
Oh, come on. Some good old Kenny Rogers would be perfect.
Lady is perfect for halftime. Lady. It's the only part of that song I know. Swear to God, is the way he sings the word lady. But I don't dislike Rihanna. There's been acts up there. I'm like, oh God, please don't. But it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit. And there was this Jack. This was the female Super Bowl, and I'll explain. During the I should say this real quick. What's his name? Chris Stapleton did the national anthem, and I'm a fan of him. His voice. Oh my God, him singing the national anthem was fucking amazing. I wouldn't have thought him singing the national anthem would go. He's a very soulful country singer, Jack. He nailed it. It was fucking awesome. But then they do the flyover like they do, using your tax dollars, ladies and gentlemen, for the fucking Super Bowl. And they tell us the first ever all-female flyover of the Super Bowl.
Oh, so they crashed?
Not that we got to see. And then we get the Rihanna halftime show, where the only thing that kept me interested is they had these platforms they kept raising pretty high in the air, Jack, and I was hoping somebody would fall off. I didn't want him to get really hurt. I just thought it would be funny as shit. And since that didn't happen, I just sat there through the Super Bowl or through the halftime show. And then there's this commercial that comes on. There's this girl with flags on her like she's playing flag football, and people keep trying to grab them.
Sexual harassment's funny.
She gets away from everybody, and then she's running down the street, and a bunch of girls come up behind her, kind of like that scene in Endgame where all the women are there suddenly.
Oh, yeah.
And it says, how does it say it? This is to the girls who play football. We can't wait to see what you do next.
What, get your teeth knocked out and cry a lot?
Like, play inferior to the guys? I mean, no offense, ladies. It's just not going to happen.
There's a reason they have to be in skimpy outfits for men to watch.
Right. And it was just the female Super Bowl. Like, I get it. They want more women to watch. That's great. But can we at least be like normal? Can we just be normal?
Nope.
I mean, this chick who outruns everybody, including Mr. Beast, is in this commercial.
Oh, was he being evil and correcting people's eyes and shit?
No, he's like, what, how did I miss it? Or something like that is the line that everybody keeps. It's stupid, Jack. It's just really dumb.
No.
But I'm all for girls playing football if they want to, by all means.
Why? But you like more carnage on the field?
I don't care, honestly. As long as it's a good game, I don't care.
What if they hit them so hard that their implants fly out?
hit him so hard they have a baby right there on the field.
Somebody picks up the baby thinking it's the ball.
I would say Monkey can't ignore me forever, but he still doesn't think that football is gay. So that man might go on for a while. Football's not gay. But all right.
No, it's hella gay, as the kids would say.
I can do 2 hours on just football. Are y'all gonna make me do that? I'm that
You
petty.
can. I mean, you might have to talk over me snoring, but
I'm that petty. I can do it. But no, the extras to the Super Bowl this year, Jack. It just starting with the beginning of it, there's always some pomp and circumstance to it, of course, but they added so much to it. Like they had this weird thing where normally what they'll do is they'll be like, okay, here's your Chiefs, and they'll announce like the starting defense. And then for the Eagles, the starting offense, and they'll run onto the field as they're, no. They have this weird video that they put together where they're singing about one of the Chiefs first, and then they did another weird video where they're singing about the Eagles. I'm like, what the fuck am I even watching?
Got me, man. They try and get all artsy with this crap, but like some sort of variety show.
It was weird. And then they come out and they sing what's the actual name of the song, the Black National Anthem. I don't care that they sung it. It was just weird watching it be sung because the woman, like, she's fake marching while she's singing it, and her mouth is opening up bigger than I realized a human mouth could. And the song is not that good. Black people, if you're going to have a Black National Anthem, you might want to pick something that sounds better. I'm told it's an old hymn, Jack.
Yeah, but hymns are meant to be sung in a specific way usually. It's kind of hard to adapt them to more modern music.
It was just bad. What about the grass situation? Oh my God. Reportedly, according to Terry Bradshaw during halftime, the reason people were slipping all over that field, and Jack, they were slipping all over this fucking field.
Yeah, Travis dropped a link a minute ago, and I was trying to get your attention to it, but you were ignoring me. Oklahoma State bragged about creating what turned out to be the worst football field of all time. And it's a picture of the football field. And what's turf grass?
I don't know.
Oh, it says Super Bowl is being played on OK State turf grass. See what ESPN has to say about the special variety of turf. Maybe that's why it sucks so much, is because nobody knows what turf grass is.
Terry Bradshaw, according to him, they painted the entire field. Not just the lines on the field, not just the emblems on the field, the grass itself.
What?
I don't know if that's true, but that's what he said as they go into the halftime and they're talking about how everybody's slipping all over the place. I've heard of them doing that before. And for the record, the Chiefs apparently, when they played Arizona earlier this year, bitched about how slick the fucking grass was.
Yeah, see, that's what I was wondering. That's what I was going to ask you about. Is does that like the type of turf and the painting and all that affect how people play? Because I imagine you play different on natural grass and AstroTurf.
Well, it's not just natural grass versus Astro. You're right about that, but it's also different types of grass that okay, the quarterback for the Eagles, his name's Jalen Hurts, right? Yeah. He changed his cleats because he was slipping all over. He was using 1/2-inch cleats. He changed to 3/4 of an inch cleats. And it all depends on how tight the grass is. Because if your cleat doesn't actually grab, if it just slides because there's too much grass in it, then yeah, you're just going to slide. Lots of hang on. I clicked the wrong button. That's the one I want. There's a lot that goes into it, and different stadiums use different kinds of grass. Even AstroTurf is not used as much as it was before. And the places that do use AstroTurf still, they use this almost a fake dirt that they put into it to help with your cleats so you're not sliding as much. I've never seen a field that was as slick as this one looked. I
Oh,
mean,
okay. That's what I was curious about. That's why I was gonna bring it up, and you brought it up for me, so I didn't have to because I'm pretty fucking lazy.
well,
But
it was mentioned in chat because yeah, that fucking field was shit.
Merle explained it to me. It's trans exclusionary radical feminist grass.
Gotcha. Travis Gardner, thank you. My second college made that grass. It was bad, man. It was really, really, really bad. And I noticed it on Travis Kelsey's touchdown. He gets in there, he makes his touchdown, and then he slips afterwards. He's coming out of bounds and just slips. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, that shouldn't happen. And then I saw like two other players slip. I'm like, what the hell's going on with this field? And then, yeah, at halftime, they bring it up. And I hope the NFL looks into it and like, yeah, you can't do this kind of shit again because you're going to get people broken legs.
Yeah, because hashtag rigged.
Patrick Mahomes hurt his leg again. We saw the running back for the Eagles got it. I wish I could remember his name. His leg got twisted up. It was just fucking nasty out there.
Real quick, thank you, really tight end, who says a bunch of heavily steroided up men in capri pants and big shoulder pads jumping into big piles while chasing a leather butt plug and slapping each other on the ass. Just go to shower together afterwards. No, not gay.
Faithless says career-ending knee tears. Yeah, this kind of stuff can fuck somebody up for life. And where was that? Black Romeo says, are you referring to the lift every voice and sing? Yes, that's the name of it. That's what I was told was a black national anthem. Oh, and we didn't choose it. At least I didn't. I hear you, man, but I am told that is your national anthem. Why? I don't know. Somebody said it one time.
Yeah, see, I've heard Lift Every Voice and Sing, and it is not that catchy of a tune. Like Swing Low, Sweet Chariot, way better song. You got to go with something that's catchy that everyone can sing right out the gate.
National anthems have a thing for being kind of crap.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard "Oh Canada"? Sorry, Canada. You ever heard that song?
Yeah, it's crap.
But I mean, Amazing Grace. Yeah, I'd go with that one, Faithless. I love Amazing Grace, sung the right way. But I asked my wife, what the fuck am I listening to? And she's the one who goes, I think that's the Black National Anthem. I've never heard it before. Russian National Anthem is catchy as fuck. I don't know if I've heard it. If I did, it was probably in the Olympics back in the Soviet days. Have they changed it? Kill everybody, send them to the gulag or whatever it's called.
See, Russian, like German, is one of those that no matter what you do with it, it sounds badass. Like you could casually be ordering dinner in German and people are going to be like, I'm sorry, okay?
The pomp and circumstance of the beginning of this, it's just gotten too ridiculous. And then let's talk about the commercials because 99% of the commercials were just trash. Do you remember when people used to watch just for the commercials, Jack?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can't do that anymore. There were only a couple that were worth a shit, and most of the other ones were, they were garbage. And we got a couple of movie ones. I saw CNN tell us that we got a new look at the highly anticipated Flash movie.
By who?
Highly anticipated. It was cool to see Michael Keaton in the get-up saying, I'm Batman. But otherwise, I don't care about the Flash movie. I really don't.
Yeah. Ezra Miller has ruined any ability to market that film.
And the only reason it even got pushed into theaters is because it's so far along that they were like, yeah, fuck it, let's just do it.
Yeah, they've got $200 million in there. They can't afford not to put it in the theater.
They got to recover some of it.
Yeah.
We already saw them with the Batgirl movie. And what was the other one that they canceled? The Supergirl movie?
Yeah, yeah. That one was really early on. Batgirl was pretty well finished. And they're just like, oh, this is a dog turd. Nope.
Fun fact: playing the USSR national anthem on YouTube will get a copyright claim. Apparently, commies don't like to share that much. Fair.
Irony.
Heard there's a new Indiana Jones movie. Yep, they played the trailer for that. They were smart enough to cut out that really bad scene where he rises up on his steed, and you can clearly tell that that's horrible computer graphics done,
Yeah.
where his head didn't quite match his neck.
Uh,
They
yeah,
didn't
they
show
did.
that part. They show him riding on his horse, but they don't show him rear up. There were a couple other movies that they did in there. Lots of food commercials, of course, different chips. Apparently, Doritos has new chips coming out.
More? Fuck's sake.
Yeah. Comrade Kitty, thank you. I missed the Budweiser frogs. They were my favorite. Budweiser. Those were great the first couple of times. And then, I mean, there's only so many times you can do those, but they used to have fun with those kind of commercials. One of my favorites was a Bud Light commercial. It was this woman who's on hold, and there's really bad music playing, and her man is trying to make her laugh, and he's dancing, and they end up dancing together. And it's a really cute little commercial, but it's not the Budweiser frog. So,
Yeah.
what's up? Yeah, what's up was a good one. The Clydesdales ones where the Clydesdales would be playing football when nobody was paying attention. There used to be a lot of really good commercials, and people would tune in just for that. And people would talk about it before and after and what's going to be in the commercials. And then this year, I don't know, maybe they just didn't have the budget for it anymore. I really don't. There's just nothing fun about them.
Well, I mean, they got to dance around on eggshells around every fucking crybaby group, and they pay millions of dollars to get them on the Super Bowl. And I mean, how many people are really watching this game compared to the last 10 years?
Probably a lot. I would bet
Really?
this one, if this one is not a record breaker or at least close, I would be shocked, honestly. You have, for the first time in God, I'm trying to remember, where you have the best two offenses, the highest scoring teams of each side, the best record of each side head to head, the two who honestly belonged in the Super Bowl together head to head. And yeah, I would imagine this one probably has pretty good ratings. I like the one where the Clydesdales. Oh yeah, can't read that one. No cool Pfizer commercials. To be honest, I didn't pay attention to any Pfizer commercials if there was one.
Maybe they learned their lesson after that fat Satan one.
First game I've actually sat through since 2008. Slickfield made it interesting. Oh man, it was not a fan of football, but the banned Super Bowl commercials are great. Were there banned ones this year? There's some every year. Saw not 1 second of the NFL this season. You missed it. It was a pretty decent season, and they, until the Super Bowl, had pared back a lot of the social justice bullshit that we've been force fed since Kaepernick. Didn't have to look at his dumb face at all this year either.
Did everybody kneel down?
He got his football money, and I think he finally got it through his head. He's not going to play again.
Yeah, I saw he was producing some like 1619 type documentary series.
I'm not shocked. I saw highlights because I don't have cable anymore. That's fair enough. I watch the highlights most weeks because I can't watch every game. Oh, for those of you who are football fans, just so you know, the NFL, what's it called? Sunday Ticket is coming to YouTube, Jack. So
I heard that. Did you tell me that?
I don't believe so because I don't think I knew about it until today.
No, I heard something about that. Might have been on the radio. I don't know. Somebody told me that. And I was like, that sounds like a scam to get people to get Disney Red or whatever.
I just look, it wasn't that popular of a service. You can still only watch so many games.
Well, the way I understood it is they're getting the Prime games or whatever, and then there's like the peripheral ones going to be on like DirecTV.
Yeah, They just said Sunday Ticket, and what Sunday Ticket used to be is you had access to all the games that weren't on like a network that you could how do I want to put it, like Thursday Night Football, which
Yeah.
is only on at the time was on ESPN, or like the ones that are on Amazon Prime, which I think is who has Thursday night games now. So I'm not sure how many games you'll get, but at most you're talking about 6 games in the same 3-hour period. You can't watch them all. So basically, if you're buying it so you can keep track of your favorite team because you're not guaranteed to get to watch them every week. So if that's why, sure. I had Sunday Ticket for a while, Jack, and I tried to cancel it. And the woman, I told her, like, I don't watch it. She goes, what if I give it to you half price? I'm like, then I'll be paying half as much for something I'm not fucking watching. I just didn't have time. And I get why she was trying to do it. She's trying to keep me as a customer and everything, but like I wasn't doing it to be an asshole or try to get a cheaper price. Like I'm not watching it. And it was expensive, Jack. It was like $200 at the time.
What?
Yeah. If you got it at the beginning of the year, it was like $200 and you get it for all 16 weeks. And great. That's not a bad deal if you can watch it. If you can't watch it, every team should have their own streaming service. I'd be okay with that.
I'm kind of surprised they don't actually.
Revenue sharing. They're trying to make sure
Oh,
people are watching the games and that way they're getting their big fat money from the networks. Yeah. They get paid a lot of money from the networks to have them on there.
wow.
Yeah. Anyhow, Jack, there was somebody mentioned a moment ago. There was one commercial that needs talked about. It's for
Oh,
some streaming service, Tabby or some shit like that. And it's these weird rabbits that look like they would make kids cry on Easter.
oh,
These grown men in rabbit suits, really creepy
that's
ones, and they're
terrifying.
kidnapping people and throwing them into holes.
What?
Yeah. And I'm sitting there going, what the fuck am I even watching here? And then when they throw them down the hole, they start floating, and there's all these TV screens around them. And get it, they're throwing you down the rabbit hole. Get it? Uh, that was creepy. I don't know who came up with that one, but fuck.
Well,
Are
that's
you trying
memorable because
to,
you're gonna have nightmares about it.
you're gonna have children having nightmares over this shit?
The giant bunny rabbit tried to kidnap me and
Uh,
send me into the TV land.
it's almost Easter time. You can't be doing that shit to kids. Easter bunny costumes are already scary as shit.
Right?
I was, as a kid, Jack, I was never afraid of like Santa Claus or any other character, but the Easter bunny frightened the fuck out of me because you can't make a nice looking Easter bunny costume. They all look like they're killers. Damn druggie, stop making commercials. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I figured out why I have a unhealthy disdain and fear of mascots, hence furries too.
Sure.
It's because when I was a kid, I watched the Electric Company with Spider Man, and there was somebody in a bunny suit in one of those that he was fighting.
Oh,
And it scarred me since like 1978. So, yeah.
yeah. My dad used to be the Easter bunny for our church, and the costume itself was fine except for the head. And it was scary. It scared the shit out of me, and I didn't like it being in the house.
Yeah, I
I
bet.
was always nervous of that thing. Even knowing my dad was the one who was dressed up in it. Like, Dad's gonna kill me. How do you think Biden felt, right? Yeah. So anyhow, yeah, the Tabby that came pre-installed on my TV, never use it, is a Tubby. Tubby, that's what it's. Sorry. Donnie Darko bunny. When that commercial first came on, that my wife made that reference, and I've only seen that like one time. My son is a fan of it, but I didn't really get it. I'm like, that's a weird movie.
It is a weird movie. It's what I would call Sinister Harvey.
Yeah, I guess that. I know what Harvey is, so
Yeah.
uh Even I don't know. I never got anything like that. I don't really like tight spaces. Tight space. Oh God, tight space with the Easter bunny in there. No, thank you. Now I'm never gonna sleep again, which is probably good for the
Right.
world. But that commercial was fucking weird, man. I'll have to find it and link it to you because I'm not doing it justice, Jack. This thing is creepy. I thought it was going to be for like some new scary movie, honestly, like a Easter slasher flick.
Oh yeah.
That's how bad it was.
Wow.
I also want to talk about the end of the game, Jack. After the game, actually, because I didn't watch the interviews. You know, after the game was over, I came down here and I see Megan Kelly say, "Oh, Travis Kelce, you seem bitter for somebody who just won. There's kids watching this. You should be more gracious." I'm like, fuck, what'd Travis say? And so I went and looked it up and I saw it. And this is what he said, Jack. He said, "None of y'all gave us any chance to win this. And look at us now, baby." That's the worst thing he said. And then he
What?
said that he played with a great team and that they just went out there and, did their job and did it well because they're a good team. That's what she was mad about. Him saying, "You guys didn't give us a chance and look at us now."
What?
And the kids were watching, Jack. I thought he must have got up there and said, "Fuck all you pieces of shit." Nah, he just, "Hey, you guys didn't give us a chance to win," including all of the commentators who were doing the game tonight. Every person up there picked the Eagles to win. We beat the odds. Yeah, that's what it was. And go look it up. Don't take my word for it. Look up Travis Kelce or the after the show thing. That's what he said. I'm almost word for word there, Jack. I'm probably paraphrasing a little because it's not like I watched it over and over and over again. But and there was a little sting to his voice. It was kind of fuck y'all. You didn't give us a chance and we beat the shit out of you. Hey, fucking like that. That's okay to be that way after you just, won.
Did you see the clip of that basketball guy say "no homo"?
No.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna find that. Sorry, I thought of that. Somebody mentioned it in chat. I was like, "Oh yeah, that was a basketball guy."
Keldrick, thank you. How dare Travis celebrate an unlikely victory? How dare he? Well, here's the thing. Even I said, look, I still say the Eagles were the better team. But you can never be like, yeah, the Chiefs have no chance here. If anybody has a chance in any game, it's the Chiefs. They just find a way to do it. And they've done it over and over again since Mahomes has been there. So I get him being a little pissed off at the fact that of the two teams coming in here, they're the ones with 2 Super Bowl experiences already under their belt, 1 win. And everybody's picking the other team over them. I'd use that as a way to fire myself up if I can. Hell yeah. And what was he supposed to do? Get up there. None of you guys picked us. I'm so happy that that you all thought we sucked. We won. I don't know if you guys noticed, but we won. And thank you for telling us how much we sucked. It was awesome, really, to hear that all week long. Yeah. I saw her thing like the children were watching. Can we stop with the fucking children? All right. And I'm not talking about how we need to tell teachers to stop with the fucking children. Can we stop doing everything for the children? He didn't say anything wrong. He wasn't swearing or doing anything obnoxious. He was just like, how you like me now, bitch? He didn't even say bitch. I'd have said bitch. Did he go laugh in his brother's face? No, I did see his brother because I saw him hug his mom and then his brother hug his mom. That was kind of a funny little dichotomy there. The Chiefs and the Eagles each had brothers on the team, Jack.
Yeah.
And their mom came in. She was wearing, it was a really cool jacket. It on one half of it, it's the Chiefs color with Travis Kelce's number on it, and on the other half, it's the Eagles. And what the fuck's his brother's name? I forget. Something Kelce. So really cool. And she's there, rooting for her sons. And one of them had to lose. And it was the older brother who lost. Oh, he's going to have a rough year. He's going to have a fucking rough year because, yeah, your little brother gets to rub it in your face. Plus, your little brother scored a touchdown and you play center. So that's never going to happen. So is this the new Manning brother saga? Not exactly. Those two never played each other in the big game. And these two, I mean, they were never on the field together at the same time, but it was just an interesting thing, especially with both of them playing for such good teams. Travis being so known because of how the fuck does that guy get? He's the number one person that the ball's coming to. How the fuck do you not have two people on him every play? Every one. I don't know. But who was the guy who this basketball player said no homo? Where was he?
He was like talking to a reporter after a game. His name is Cam Thomas, Brooklyn Nets guard.
Yeah, I have not seen that.
Yeah, give me a second. I'll pull the clip up. I got it right here. Took me a minute to find it because I couldn't think of his fucking name because I don't care about sports.
Is this from tonight?
No, it's a few days ago.
All right. No, yeah, I missed all that.
Yeah.
Little brother will become the biggest sore winner. I mean, I have a feeling, and it is still his brother. He'll give him a little ribbing and stuff at like Christmas dinner and shit, but it's still his brother.
Yeah, he's gonna be like, losers sit at the little kids' table. Otherwise, you got to polish my ring.
That's right. And plus, I mean, it's his little brother who won. It's not like he can be too upset by that, right? It'd be better if you got to be the one to win, but if somebody's got to win, at least it's your little brother. All right.
The good look because you guys were lacking that.
I seen it, but I was like, man, he just talking for the last. We already had good looking dudes, no homo. But
we already had good looking dudes, no homo.
Yeah, they hit him with 40 grand for that.
Fuck, dude. That's horrible. It's a joke. Calm down, man. Why is everybody so mad about something like that?
I don't know. You saw, I see you retweeted the video of that dude flipping out, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's another thing I wanted to talk about with this because we should be able to show that, right?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
This is why I say Philadelphia might still be in trouble, Jack, even with them losing. I haven't paid attention to anybody news. Does anybody know if Philadelphia is burning down right now?
I don't know, maybe.
Because now we'll talk about it at the end, but there's people who are saying this is fake, and I'll show you their evidence and everything, Jack, here in a second. But this is what's on the screen here. This is the Chiefs kicker getting ready to kick the game-winning field goal, which leaves 8 seconds on the clock. The Eagles can't come back, and this happens. Whoops. Now, I'm going to pause right here. You see this little yellow sticker right there on the bottom corner of the TV?
Yeah.
There's people pointing to this going, oh, this is fake. That's fake. That's a demo TV. Hang on. We'll get to it. This dude loses his shit, and he's slipping around worse than the players on the field because he spilled his soda there.
I think that's a beer.
It's orange.
Oh. Well, it could be a craft beer.
Could be.
That other dude's got a beer right there.
But, I mean, he then just threatens all of his friends. Now, I want to talk about that little thing because, God bless it, stop it. I keep hitting leave studio, and that's not what I mean to hit. Rental, people are saying, it's also the little thing. I mean, TVs come with those that tell you, like, it'll save you on your utility bill this much.
Yeah, your energy savings things.
Yeah. Here's something you guys should know. The biggest day for return televisions in the United States is the day after the Super Bowl.
Yep. People go in and buy a TV the week before and then return it immediately afterward and be like, oh, it's broken. Or it wasn't the right size.
Yep.
They get their money back because they want to watch it on a bigger TV than they own.
That is it is 100% true. I was shocked by that when I worked at Walmart. They're like, yeah, we're going to get a ton of TVs back. I'm like, really? They're like, yeah, they just come, they pick them up for the Super Bowl, and they bring them back. Like, oh, cool. What do we do with them? We sell them. Like, oh, all right. But yeah, I don't know if it's a real video or not. I can believe it's real.
His reaction does look kind of real. So
he's mad.
Kind of freaked out right there.
And I know football fans like that. My older brother was like that. That's why I hated watching football with him.
Yeah, I got some friends I can't be around during sports seasons because they flip out too much, and it affects their entire day the next day, especially down in Columbus, where you've got like the Ohio State University. Those fans are psychotic. Their entire week will be ruined if the team loses because it's obviously rigged. It's obviously the coaches are conspiring with the refs against them. Conspiracy theories abound.
Black Romeo says, my guess is he bet on the game. If you listen to the whole thing, he's mad because he bet on the game.
Yeah, he says near the end of the clip there, I've got a lot of money on this.
He says it right at the beginning of the clip too.
Yeah.
And at one point he's somebody give me my money, some stupid shit like that. You lost, bitch. You bet the wrong way. Yeah. Thank you, Frank. Riot police have dispersed at least a small crowd. Did you read my last labs? Yes, I did. Well, at least the last one I got was your one about the coworkers going down to Broad Street. And yeah, we did read that one. But yeah, I mean, it's a weird thing that happens where people go buy these TVs just to watch this on the big screen and then take it back. And I always thought, isn't it easier to just watch it on your TV you already have?
Well, I mean, why when you could get one for, watch it, a bigger one to watch it on and then take it back?
Hey, Nuts, how you doing? I think for me, I'm just too lazy to take the other one back.
It seems like a lot of extra steps, but it's what really poor people do when there's a big game like that. I mean, I get it. You want to watch it in theater quality, but it's pretty rude.
If you're going to do that, at least go to a rent-to-own place and, set it up that I'm going to rent this for a couple of weeks and then give it back. You can do that. But no, these people go to like Walmart and Target and shit, and then it's not working right for me.
Well, they want all their money back. They don't want to pay to rent it. The most recent thing I can see is that there's about 200 people gathering near City Hall, and cops in riot gear issued dispersal warnings twice, and objects have been thrown at the cops. So
Peter says the $500 question is whose TV was it? Nobody else seems too pissed off about the TV being broke. I'm guessing it's his.
I'm guessing it's Walmart's.
Well, yeah, it is now.
Yeah.
Only 200. If the Eagles had won this, Philadelphia would be on fire right now.
Philadelphia would be on fire either way.
If they're only breaking up a small crowd of 200, I think probably what you're looking at is just depression. They're just sad.
Oh, the cops are already out in riot gear, so it's not like they're going to have time to really organize a good fight.
Snub, thank you. I'm late. What riot and who are we judging for their slacktivism? Oh, this isn't slacktivism, my friend. This is sports. It's the Eagles fans out there in Philadelphia mad that their team lost. City of brotherly love, my ass.
Right?
No, for all of the fandom out there, all of the sports fandom out there, no city is as bad as Philadelphia. I don't know why. I've mentioned this before on Streams Jack. They literally had to they built a court into the stadium.
Yeah.
Because they had so many problems with drunks and fighting. They just put a judge in the fucking stadium for the games.
Well, it saves time.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's just get them arraigned right now. No city is as bad as them. And you can think your city's shit. Good luck to you. You got nothing on Philly. That's not something to aspire to. They're fucking horrible. They're bad. They really need to do something about their fans. They have a jail. Yes, there's a jail built in.
Yeah, good luck, Philly residents. This could be night of fire.
Maybe if brotherly love is an ironic euphemism for murder. Yeah, I mean, I am a big sports guy, especially when it comes to football. I love my Chargers. I would never burn down the city over them ever. I would never. I could barely throw something across the room for them. I might make a ugly face and yell. Maybe.
Some people get way too invested in their athletic activities.
Well,
it's not like they're members of the team, for God's sake.
As was pointed out in chat, and you and I both mentioned in the video there, he does talk about gambling, and sports gambling has been a lot freer lately. And the more free it gets, the more you're going to see people freaking out like this.
Yeah.
Some idiot reportedly bet, what was it? It was either $2,000 or $5,000. I don't remember which. That the game would go into halftime tied 0-0. You're talking about the two best teams in the league who have amazing offenses. The chance of this going in, yeah, great payoff if you can get it, but you just wasted $2,000. I wish I had that kind of waste money, Jack.
No shit.
Thank you, Travis Gardner. I work for a warranty TV repair company, and I would hate this week because TV warranty service customers are the biggest pain in the ass customers. I would rather hose out rancid freezers than do TV repair. I hated every moment of it. Damn.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, man. Plus, people will sit there and micromanage you. If you're working on their fridge, they're probably going to leave you alone. They might lurk around and just watch you. But TV, people are like, all right, man, don't fuck it up. That would drive me up a wall. I don't know how you do that, man.
Mr. Beast put 500K on it. Yeah, see, Megan worried about the kids listening to Travis Kelce. I'd be more worried about them getting all these people out there gambling all the time. Gambling's a good way to ruin yourself.
Yeah.
I'm not against gambling. I just think it has to be done more responsibly probably than drinking. Because it's easy to gamble away everything trying to just get back to even. And you got these idiots out there talking about all the money that they're pissing away on gambling. And one or two of them are going to hit it big for one of these games and then lose the rest of the time. Like, good job. Yay. I don't enjoy gambling, throwing my money away. I like gambling. It depends on what kind of gambling it is. I don't do long shot gambling. And I sure shit don't bet much, Jack.
No, I'll play the penny slots for like $20 and then I'm done.
I'm going to ride over that halftime show. That halftime show was shit. It was so bad. If it was a Rihanna concert on HBO, maybe it'd have been cool.
Nah.
But for a halftime show, nah, fuck that. Who got suspended? Oh, did Ethan Ralph lose his Twitter? What'd he do now?
Oh, well, it's Ethan. I mean,
was he threatening people again? He likes to do that. Low stakes poker is my limit. Mine too. And if I'm going to bet on a football game, it's going to be pride rather than money.
I'd be more inclined to bet on fights at a hockey game than actual hockey or any like Super Bowl. I don't know anything about it, so I'd bet on like which city's going to burn.
I can't believe that anybody would spend $2,000 on 0-0 halftime of the Super Bowl. Jesus Christ. Anyhow, Jack, so there's our Super Bowl roundup for this year. If you guys want to talk more about it, I'm not saying we can't, but we can absolutely talk about it. Kid Rock should have been the Super Bowl halftime show probably a decade ago. I don't know what his shows are like this right now. He's getting kind of old. Can he still ball with a ball?
What?
Kid Rock, ball with a ball?
I don't know what that means.
Okay. Cowboy.
Oh, okay. I've heard that song. I saw him live in concert and he sucked, but that was before he got famous.
Heard about the rage pig raging at one of his mentally ill viewers because his parents would not allow him to have an event at his house. Yeah, that's oh fuck, what's that guy's name? The Asian kid that was at the wrestling event.
No idea.
I forget. And yeah, I saw the clip of him yelling at him. He accidentally, well, I don't know about accidentally or not. It's Ralph. He doxes the guy's phone number
Oh, jeez.
live on the air. Ali
That is-
Jamal, that's his name. Ali Jamal. He calls up his dad, Ali Jamal's dad, because his dad's like, no, you can't come hang out at our house. Ralph like, why not? I heard somebody. This is where the tortious interference thing comes up. He said, oh, you were talking to somebody about me, and they made it so I can't come out there. That's tortious interference. And at the beginning of the call, he calls him, and it goes to a voicemail box, and it gives out the phone number. And dipshit didn't block it when it started to happen.
Was he drinking?
Thank you, Rodline. I put $1,000 on the Washington Generals to beat the Globetrotters. I have a feeling they're due for a win. You're right. They are due for one. It's not going to happen, though. If they ever do win, that payoff is going to be incredible. That's going to be like what, $1 billion to one shot. All right, so football's over until next year, y'all, unless there's any kind of well, not exactly, Jack, because this is the fun part of the football year. In that the season's over, so we start to see charges come.
Oh, when the cops finally start arresting people for their crimes?
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Oh.
One of the Eagles is going to be turning himself in. I forget which city it is for rape. Which
I'm
happened back
sad that I was right on that, by the way.
happened back in 2019. There's another guy who's going to be arrested here shortly for assault, I believe it was. There's a whole bunch of them that are on the docket now that the teams aren't playing anymore. It's nice of the police to wait until the season's over. I had a friend arrested at McDonald's during his shift. And they won't arrest these guys for rape because the big game is coming up.
You want to hear a good one?
What's that?
My uncle got arrested at his second wedding.
Nice. Yeah,
I'd rather be arrested at McDonald's, honestly.
My friend got arrested at McDonald's during his shift for a seatbelt ticket. That's a true
Damn.
story. Yeah.
Damn. At least my uncle was in for domestic violence, but
No.
Oh,
the
shit.
jail was empty, so they sent the sheriffs out to pick people up because you don't make money when the jail's empty.
just pay your fucking tickets, guys. It's a seatbelt ticket. It's not like it's expensive. And show up for your court date.
I got a seatbelt ticket at the same time. We were riding in a car together, and neither one of us were wearing it. My seatbelt ticket was $85.
Oof, that's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
$85, and he went to jail over it because he refused to pay it. And then he was mad at his wife when she came and bailed him out and paid it off. Thank you, Frosted Glass. I suddenly got a desire to play football. #innocent. I think what you're looking for is #delayed. For innocent, you want Joe Biden to adopt you. The Generals have racked up just 3 wins since their 1952 founding against a record of nearly 19,000 losses. Is that the actual numbers? Fuck. Oh, man. I used to like watching the Globetrotters. They're fun to watch.
Oh, I never got to see them. Saw them on like Scooby-Doo and I think once on TV at school, but no, never got to watch their games or anything.
I never went to one of their games, but I've seen several of them on TV.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
those guys are the stuff they can do with basketball is fucking amazing.
Yeah, it always looked really cool, but I never got to watch any of it. They were
Yeah.
huge when we were kids.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Globetrotters were everywhere, including, like you said, Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
Didn't they have like 2 or 3 episodes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were on a couple other cartoons, as I recall. And but the Scooby-Doo ones, I would love Scooby-Doo as a kid. So it was cool to see them on there. But no, I never got to watch any of their games or anything. My dad always thought it was stupid, and so we never got to watch any of the games. I just saw little clips here and there of them doing tricks.
Brad says, how can they give you a seatbelt ticket on private property? Well, if I knew then what I knew now, I would have fought that ticket the whole way. Because there's no way the cops could have told I didn't have my seatbelt on. It was in the middle of the night, Jack.
Yeah.
And by the time they got to the car, I guarantee you my seatbelt was on.
Well, I mean, it's really not easy to put that seatbelt on without them noticing.
I just slid my hand up, slid it down. It's not like there was any light or anything that gleaned off of anything. Prove I didn't have it on the whole time.
Yeah.
Was it on when you got to my car? It was on. But I was much younger than Jack. I was like 20 at the time.
Yeah, it's they know they can give you a ticket then.
Yeah. But yeah, he got fucking arrested at work over that shit.
Damn, dude, that sucks. Oh, I bet his wife was pissed.
Not so much pissed as you again. It's kind of shit he did. I wasn't paying mine either. I did not pay my ticket. My dad paid it for me for my birthday. I'm like, you didn't have to do that. I wasn't going to pay it. I was going to go sit my happy ass in jail because I'm opposed to the idea that I have to wear a seatbelt. I'll wear a seatbelt, but I don't like being told I have to. And the female cop, how would you like it if I had to go tell your family that you got splattered all over the road because you went shooting out of your windshield? I don't want to have to do that. I'm like, ain't that your fucking job?
Right?
I didn't put that in your job description. Would it be better if you got to tell them that I broke my neck? And is there a better way? Is there one time when you go to tell somebody's family they died in a car wreck that you're really happy about?
I would hope not. Otherwise, you're kind of a monster.
Got caught driving without a seatbelt. They made me go to a class where they showed us horrific videos. Nice. Now they just gave me an $85 ticket, fuckers. But this is back in the click it or ticket days, Jack.
Yeah.
Click it or ticket. Shut up, bitch. Don't you got some real crime to be stopping people for? We weren't even speeding or anything.
No, they made it a type 1 offense so they could pull you over for that. Same with cell phones. They just did the cell phone law here statewide. So if you're on your phone, not talking on your phone, but looking at your phone, they could pull you over.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
because
but
at that point,
if you're answering your phone, that's the same thing, though.
Oh, no, there was me and Lady Monkey were driving somewhere one time, and this fucking dude is all over the fucking road. You can clearly see he's texting. We're behind him, and I told her she was driving, like, stay behind. And this cop comes racing up and just fly. She actually had to slow down because he swerved into her lane and then swerved back over.
Jesus.
And then she flew by. I'm like,
what?
And she got off on the next off ramp. All I can guess is that her shift was up.
Or she had something more like a shooting or something to go to.
Not around these parts.
Oh, yeah, that's weak.
Yeah. And so that guy probably killed somebody later in the day. I mean, he was all over the road. When I say that, I mean going through 2 lanes, taking up both of them. Like I said, the cop even had to slow down to get past him and then kept going. And like, I can't believe I just watched that happen. Your seatbelt, look, guys, you probably should wear your seatbelt. Chances are it's going to save you if there's a major accident. Hashtag not all before anybody. Hey, sometimes shit. I understand that, but it's probably something you should do. I just don't like that they tell you have to do it. That's not an issue, Jack, with me harming somebody else, like
Yeah.
using your cell phone. And I cannot tell you how many times we'll be behind somebody like, what the fuck are they doing? And then we get up beside them. And I've seen rigs doing that shit, Jack. 18 wheelers. And
Uh-huh.
like, oh, he's on his fucking phone.
Yeah. Whenever somebody's like, "Oh no, I could drive really well and text at the same time," no, you can't. You're not paying attention.
Nope.
You're full of shit. Almost nobody can do that. 99.999% of people, they're not you. Okay, you're driving just as bad as everybody else.
Probably actually worn my seatbelt about 1% of all the time I've driven. Again, I don't think it harms anybody else. If anybody comes to harm from it, it's going to be you. So that's a personal choice. We're not talking about like drunk driving or distracted driving or any shit like that. So I'm okay with it, but apparently the police aren't.
That's all
Fuck
money
these
making
guys.
scam by the legislature.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know of the statistics. I would have to look and see what the driving fatalities were before and after they started pushing it. I'm sure it helped a little, but again, it's personal risk. That's between you and your God, really. But yeah, let that asshole who's taking up 2 lanes because he's on his fucking cell phone, just leave him alone. Give me my $85 ticket, you twat. I'm still bitter about that, Jack.
I could tell.
I got an $85 ticket for not wearing my seatbelt. It's my own goddamn business. None of their fucking business. Anyhow, let's move along, Jack. We have some stuff to talk about here.
Indeed. Oh, by the way, turns out Rihanna is pregnant or just had a baby.
She just had a baby in May of last year.
Oh, is she pregnant again?
I don't know if she's pregnant again. She looked a little tubby in the video.
Yeah, she looked pretty fat, so.
But she could still be losing baby weight.
Obviously not a man around.
Oh. The only reason I know when she had her baby, I don't keep up with Rihanna. Lady Monkey looked it up during the game, and she told me. So I knew that just because my wife.
Why is Rihanna fat?
Wow. Johnny says she confirms she's pregnant. Is that why she was wearing that awful fucking outfit?
Oh, yep. Just saw that. Rihanna pregnant with second child, rep says.
Probably a really good idea that you had yourself hoisted in the air like that.
Yeah, well, a baby gets to get some 0 G's.
Hey, if she falls off, maybe she'll become an even bigger singer, Jack. I've heard killing your baby will do that for you.
Yeah. That's true. I've heard that as well.
Don't lie, Monkey. Only watch the game for her. I was waiting for the special appearance. You know how a lot of these Super Bowl halftime things, they'll have extra people. I was just waiting for something to make that worth a fuck. It just never happened. But, good for her. She's having another kid. Still not Super Bowl music. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry, as the kids say. Or really old ladies who used to be on Who's the Boss.
Yes. Really old.
Third UFO shot down over Lake Huron, you guys.
Yep, that brings the total over North America or over the Americas to like 6 now, because there's the one in Latin America. We shot one down in the South Carolina. We shot one down in Alaska. We shot one down in Canada. We still haven't learned anything about that Montana zone one.
Hang on. Wow, this is. I want to see if I can find that video. Did you see Corinne Jean-Pierre talking about this?
No.
Oh my fucking God. Please tell me I have that video. I can't remember if somebody tagged me in it or I just happened to see it. Hopefully somebody tagged me in it. Yeah, Miss Corinne Jean-Pierre was on some news show where she's talking about these and the shoot down of the ones. There it is.
MSNBC?
Nope, I found it. Was it? Yeah, it was MSNBC. Okay, Jack. So we'll come back to the actual UFO story, but we have to watch this because it's It is unbelievable. This woman is the spokesperson for the president of the United States. You would think that she would be able to express herself. Have you seen this, Jack?
No, I haven't actually.
Oh, God. All right. Take it away, clown.
Why is the American military shooting something out of the sky over Canada?
Because it's part of NORAD. The NORAD is part of like it's a what you call a coalition, a consortium.
That's how much trouble she had just describing NORAD.
She could just say we're allies and they asked us to.
Because we have an agreement with Canada for the air defense of North America.
Yeah, that's literally what NORAD is.
But we're not done yet.
So the pact, exactly, and so that's why we were able to do that. Again, we didn't do it on our own. We did it clearly in step with Canada.
Canada? What do you mean?
I
make that as a joke.
I do that to be disrespectful to Canadians.
Yeah.
She could barely spit anything out. It's like she was reading a statement from Biden himself. It's because NORAD, this thing with it's like a condominium collusion, something with a C, and that's why we were able to do it. And because it was in how do I want to say this with Canada.
Stop asking me tough questions, you monster.
It's so bad, so fucking bad. That is the spokeswoman for the President of the United States of America.
Right. Oh,
we're in
real quick. Let me grab a couple hands. Let me grab a couple of things here real quick. Thank you, Uncle Adolf. I invite you to our camps to pick a woman that may be skinny enough for you. Oh, thank you, Uncle Adolf. I'll be showing up at Happy Valley shortly. And also, thank you, Keldrig. It's 5-year-olds string together better sentences. You're not wrong.
It would have been better to just have Biden up there answering, honestly.
It's been about the same.
Good God almighty.
The aliens want to touch my leg hair.
Fuck. And she finished it up with Canada. Again, we say that as a joke around these parts. We love our Canadian viewers. Yeah. But your government forces me to say Canada. Sorry. I would show more respect if you guys wouldn't keep hiring Trudeau.
Right? Or Castro.
Another unidentified flying object was shot down over Lake Huron on Sunday, marking the third such action to be taken by the U.S. military over the last 3 days. I mean, I guess at least it was over water, Jack, right? That makes it safe.
Yeah, let's just pollute our water with drinking water comes out of Lake Huron. I don't know what the hell they're doing.
Well, there's also lots of boats and shit on those lakes too.
Yeah, but Biden doesn't care about that. Most of those voters are going to be Republicans.
Representative Eliza, is that Slotkin, a Michigan Democrat, confirmed that the Air Force had. Why is a Michigan Democrat representative confirming this?
Aren't you guys touching Huron?
Well, sure, but why isn't this being confirmed with DOD?
Because they've been keeping their stupid lying mouths shut lately.
Sorry. That just confuses me. It's weird for this to be confirmed by a representative instead of being confirmed by DOD, the White House, somebody involved with the military.
Yeah.
How about a commander of the local forces? Something that. All right. Anyway, confirmed that the U.S. Air Force had downed a UFO similar to one over Alaska on Friday and another over Canada. I can't say Canadian now because I got to find a way to fuck it up so I can be like Jean-Pierre. Canuckian. No, that's too much like they are Canucks.
Canuckleheads?
I can't fuck it up as bad as she did. Now I feel bad about myself.
That's okay. It's late. You've been watching the sports.
Last week, a Chinese spy balloon was also shot down off the coast of South Carolina. I thought it was off the coast of North Carolina.
No, South Carolina.
I swear it was North Carolina.
Nah, that's the Mandela effect, dude. That was in the alternate universe.
Now I'm going to have to look up news that I read. Anyway, the object has been downed by pilots of the U.S. Air Force and the National Guard. Great work by all who carried out this mission. Sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but they're literally talking about using fighter jets to take out balloons. They're like, great work. I mean, sure.
If you want to waste $1 million sidewinders instead of just shooting it.
Anyway, who carried this mission both in air and back at headquarters. We're all interested in exactly what this object was and its purpose. Well, good thing we sent the F-22s up to take care of it over Lake Huron. I'm sure we'll be able to recover it really quick.
Yeah. There's boats they haven't dragged out of the Great Lakes yet.
As long as these things keep traversing the U.S. and Canada, I'll continue to ask for Congress to get full briefings based on our exploitation of the wreckage. Less than 45 minutes before that, Slacken had posted to the social media platform to confirm that the Pentagon was monitoring the flying object. Just got a call from Department of Defense, our military. So she is, they're confirming of this is her talking on Twitter about it. Okay. Why not? Maybe, lady, Jack, I'm for some openness, but maybe a congresswoman flapping her lips on Twitter is not the right place for this.
Maybe.
We'll know more about what this was in coming days, but for now, be assured that all parties have been laser focused on it. Jewish laser focused? From the moment it traversed our waters. How did it get over Lake Huron in the first place?
Yeah, how did it get that far in? I mean, they've found at least 4 of these. Only one of them was even close to the correct border. Not South Carolina, the other side. The Alaskan one that they took down. Otherwise, their system for finding these things seems to be pretty dog shit.
How the fuck did it get that far in?
I don't know. It had to have gone over Canada if they shot it down over Lake Huron. So maybe the Canadians fucked this one up. But I have a lot of questions about how this got this far in.
My governor said, our national security and safety is always a top priority unless you're an old person. I've been in contact with the federal government. We're not allowed to kill any more of those old people yet. And our partners who were tracking an object near our airspace. We were hoping it was going to kill some old people.
Yeah.
I'm glad to report it has been swiftly, safely, and securely taken down, as I did with old people. She's really worried about the safety of Michiganders.
Yeah, maybe it was near her lake house.
Probably. That's what this was. It was the aliens trying to kidnap my governor. Okay. How far to get that far in? That's what she said. Hey, it's not my fault she ended up walking that way. I'm not understanding how this specific one. Okay, because we got the one from China, which turns out we tracked since it left China, the big one from last week. We had the one in Alaska that's shot down. Okay, right as it's getting in our airspace. Fine. The one in Canada, which, I mean, I guess it could have come into Canadian airspace first. That's not the way the trajectory of the other balloon went. And I guess I'm looking at the streams and everything. So maybe. This one had to make it all the way through Canada or the United States unnoticed until it got there. I don't know if you all know where Lake Huron is. We're talking almost to the East Coast at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're talking Michigan, Ohio area.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting how it managed to get that far in
Without being spotted yet. Yeah.
So even if it was floating like the other one that they shot down over Alaska, where it was like 40,000 feet, that's still only 40,000 feet. Nobody saw this thing?
I'm guessing. I don't know.
Something funny going on with all these balloons.
And like we said with the China one, man, that to me seems like a test run. And these ones, the other ones, because they've come out. And did you read that article I sent you where they're coming out and that they are saying, yeah, they are balloons now?
Yeah.
Or at least the first two we're told were balloons.
Yeah.
These are not the same balloons that the Chinese had up there. These are smaller, more metal looking balloons than the one that just looked like a giant surplus weather balloon from China.
If these were like the Tic Tacs that were filmed by the Nimitz, they're not going to tell us that. They're going to say they were balloons. But my concern is that the one they shot down in Alaska was only at 40,000 feet. As they said in one of the articles I read, that's low enough to actually interfere with plane traffic.
Yes.
Now, if they really wanted to cause havoc, they release a whole bunch of these balloons on us and they'll fly right into a bunch of planes. You're going to cause mass panic and chaos.
Rama says first balloon was allowed due to a guy in charge up in Alaska. He deemed it to not be a military threat. And that's fine. But as soon as it made it to the president's desk, which should have been very quick, it should have been immediately deemed a threat.
Yeah.
And not necessarily even a biological or a conventional weapon kind of threat, even just a fucking intelligence threat.
Yeah. So even if only a couple of them get far in, that's more than enough intelligence gathering to pick targets for a potential strike if we end up in a war with them. They're collecting information, and like I said before, if you fill one of these things like the payload thing with shrapnel and it gets into an airplane engine, you're gonna down in a 747. You fill it with explosives and it hits the ground in some remote town, it doesn't matter. You're causing havoc, causing fear, and that's one of the best psychological weapons that anybody can use in warfare is creating fear within your enemy's population.
They want us talking about this rather than the Epstein list. I saw somebody today, I forget who it was, mention, distraction from what? It's not like people are paying attention to anything anyway. I wouldn't be surprised that this was some kind of distraction, but I don't think that's what the U.S. is using it for. I think Biden would have preferred this not to become a thing in the first place. But now that it is, I mean, it gives him a chance to actually beat his chest and look how big we're being.
Yeah, except he's fucking it up real bad, and it looks like he's incompetent because they can't seem to find a fucking weather balloon.
As Cybertaz, thank you so much. I just reinstalled XCOM. Cool. Get the weather balloon.
Thank you, Israel, who says, if you mention the space laser again, you'll get free heating. I didn't mention it. Monkey did. That was his fault. And thank you, Furcane Lopamit. Hello, Monkey and Jack. Wonderful audience. It's like the song 99 Red Balloons. Yeah, sadly.
Oh, excuse me.
No, I'd have to disagree with you, Assassin. I don't think this is about the satellite optics. I think this is just extra intelligence gathering to probe our weaknesses. Because if they can send balloons in and we take out their satellites, they still have information. And it'll create havoc. They could down planes. They can create explosions on the ground, EMP attacks. They're just testing our response time.
Peter says China has spy satellites. It's not like they're unfamiliar with the layout. They're okay. When it comes to things like spy satellites, we know when they're overhead, and you do take precautions when you know they're there. And you send in something like a balloon like this, it's just allowed to float over as long as it needs to be. I mean, we don't know what kind of stuff it was gathering.
Yeah, and it
And
could be just collecting cell phone data to try and figure out if somebody they're looking for is in the area, or there's lots of information that they can gather at low altitude.
yeah, you get a lot crisper stuff you can find out that way. Look, we won't know what was sent back because we blew the damn thing up and dropped it into the fucking ocean. Don't
Yeah.
worry, they fished it out, Jack.
Uh-huh.
It's
Is it
amazing.
full of money for Hunter?
Probably. That's what it was. It was full of Parmesan cheese.
Yeah, no, I don't think this is about precision strikes or anything like that. This is to test our response time, to test what we will do, and to create chaos. Because balloon is totally random. You never know where it's going to go. So the first one had steering mechanism, so it could maneuver. These other ones don't appear to, but you never know what they're up to with it. If their goal is to just flood us with these things so we keep wasting missiles on them to keep them out of our airline engines, that's not a bad tactic because there's planes all over the continent.
Hunter's balloons are in someone's rectum. Oh, fuck. Oh, my. Nothing says precision like a balloon. Balloons can actually be pretty precise, especially with their steering mechanisms. We were reading the article about the tests we did here in the U.S., where they were able to keep a balloon stationary just by moving it up and down. Kept it in the same left, right, east, west kind of thing. Just moving its altitude up and down, they could keep it in the same spot so they could look at whatever they wanted to in that area. Believe it or not, it's not just they didn't just let a balloon loose and hope it carried on the Gulf Stream and go over the right places. It went where they wanted it to go.
Yeah.
There's a reason it went over where it did in Montana. It didn't accidentally go over our nuclear fields and the air base there.
Yeah, because the air base tests new drone technology and stealth planes. So it's not a coincidence that it went over that. But if they use their manufacturing capability, which is pretty significant, to produce a bunch of these balloons and only armed 1 out of 100, that would cause havoc across the country.
All right. That's enough news for tonight. Let's get into drama, Jack, because this is too much fun. We only covered a little bit of this earlier, and with the first 2 articles, we didn't go in depth on either one. More in depth with 2 than we went with 1, because 1 there wasn't really a lot to say about. 2, it started to get a little weird. And here we have the removed article from Timcast, Jack. From Mr. Shane Cashman, the greatest journalist to ever live.
Now, I am so glad that this was archived by that dashing, mysterious stranger, so that we can admire this complete garbage fest.
Good God, this is so ridiculous. This led to this article getting taken down eventually, and for I guess Tim Pool and the Quartering having gay sex in their drive. I don't know what they did. But this is a really weird article. Just the parts that I've seen of it. And we're going to dig in further. We read the first part of it on the show this morning. I'm going to skip the very, very beginning. We're going to jump right into the coordinated hit job. A coordinated hit job. Orchestrated hate. And then everyone bought into it. The psyop grew so loud that it was the only thing people could hear. I am disappointed in everyone who fell for it.
I'm sorry. Who is this asshole again that I should be upset that I'm disappointing him?
He's a retard who writes for Tim Pool.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't care. I don't care that he's disappointed in me. I have parents for that.
I don't respect the way most people handled it, but I believe in redemption. This shouldn't negate the real conversations I enjoy about censorship and the tech. She censored people, dude. And you
Yeah.
let her get away with it in the second part of the article when you ask her about it, and she switches the subject and pretends like, I don't even know what you're talking. What? I ain't do nothing. You didn't hold her feet to the fire on any of it. You just went, oh, you poor woman.
Why would he want to hold her feet to the fire, monkey?
Sorry, the real conversations I enjoy about censorship and the tech elite's bubble. This is mostly directed at the targeted harassment that was disguised as some kind of Twitter heroism.
Dun, dun, dun.
I believe the entire smear campaign was manufactured and it grew into something organic. My favorite line of the whole thing, Jack.
Yeah, that I didn't think about it until you read it out loud and said it. And I was like, yeah, you're right. That makes no sense.
0 sense at all. It was manufactured and grew into something organic. I don't suppose you'll explain how that happens exactly, but anyway. Because a lot of real people interact with so many bots, they don't read things fully, don't go beyond the clickbait, that it's nearly impossible to tell them apart. Look at how by the time the story wormed its way up to some of the most well-known political commentators, they were thinking Eliza was a genuine employee of Twitter. Who? I don't know anybody who thought she worked for Twitter, other than to say she did help them, according to her. And I believe even there's some hints from Elon in them about her helping to get the rules we have in place right now.
Yeah, for like revenge porn, that type of stuff. But she obviously has contacts at Twitter, which is what people were saying. That not that she directly works for Twitter. The allegation was that she's getting her friends at Twitter to shut people up.
If anything, it seemed like they worked for her.
Yeah.
All right. It's maddening having to watch a story mutate like this, but we grow up talking about the game of telephone for a reason. All right, it's not a game of telephone when I show you video of this bitch saying something. That's not a game of telephone. It's her saying it. I know that's confusing to somebody who thinks Tim Pool is a journalist of sorts.
Yeah.
In the wake of the Twitter suspensions connected to the world star hip-hop video, a lot of YouTube commentators started saying that podcasts should start vetting their guests better. You should. Why do you think you shouldn't have to vet your guests? We'll get back to this. Can we talk about that for just a second?
Sure.
You had, Mr. Murphy on there, and nobody even had to dig deep to find out what a shitbag he was. And now you have this chick on, and this stuff about her has been out there for well over a year and a half. And you never bothered to look at any of it. You just said, oh, they're popular. They'll get us some views. And if that's all you want to be, fine. That's fine. But don't then bitch when people call you out for having guests on who are shitty people.
Yeah.
And the problem isn't that you had shitty guests on, okay? It's not. It's that when it's pointed out that they're shitty guests, because it's not like it was Jack Murphy's only time over there. It's not like it was her only time over there. Okay, you didn't vet it, fine. But once you did find out, especially in the case of her, when you've just had Steven on there for you guys to have your big talk about tech censorship and all this, and how that makes the Daily Wire a product of the deep tech state, and how, oh my God, they're silencing conservatives. These were conservatives who got silenced, and you didn't say dick. Not a fucking thing about it. You could have just come out and went, look, we've had her on. We agree with her on the sexploitation stuff. That's awesome. But we do not agree with censoring of people. That's all you had to say. And you couldn't even be bothered to do that. This has nothing to do with vetting them. This has to do with, okay, here's their actions right fucking now. And you didn't say shit. And now you're trying to, oh, yeah, we're supposed to vet better. You don't even got to fucking vet. How about just when it is pointed out that they're shitty people, acknowledge it? How about that? Huh? Just a thought. Could you talk to the people for just a minute, Jack?
Sure. What's up, sexy audience?
I'll be right back.
Okay. Say, hey, we took them at their word and we're deceived by them. Yeah, that would be too simple, Faithless. Too many people's egos get involved in this crap. And they can't help themselves. And now it is too late. You're right, Eagle. Because they've already dug this hole deeper. And they've doubled down too many times. It's ridiculous. Should vet your guest better. The guy who picked his co-host up from the side of some road, right? Yeah, I think that they're just lazy and arrogant over at Timcast. And they thought, well, you know, we're smart. We can figure it out. And then they doubled down, tripled down, and now they look like dipshits. So that's what happens. Megatron has fallen. I think Megatron had to probably go talk to one of the kids or something. I don't know. Maybe it had to get some smokes. But yes, Megatron has temporarily fallen. He will be back up in a minute. To be fair, Crowder was a lot less likely to suck Tim's dick. Sure. We'll go with that story.
So sorry about that, man. Old man bladder.
Cigarettes?
No. Even though I went twice before the show, my bladder was like, go now. I'm like, all right.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's respectable.
I'm old, dude. It's not what it used to be.
No, I hear you.
I used to be able to go like 6 hours, and then like now it's like, oh fuck, I gotta pee again. I'm just gonna get me a catheter.
Gross.
It's kind of extreme, but anyway, where were we here? I would suggest that the same. This is him talking. Sorry, I interrupted this to go pee. This is him. Actually, I had a rant first, in fairness to myself, but he's talking about the vetting, and you should vet better. All right, I would suggest that the same should go for your sources of information, the people you are willing to pal around with as you mock someone's downfall. You don't want a catheter, believe me. I've had them before for surgery. I've never had them for long term, but I was just making a joke, my friend.
Yep. Nope. Never. Not ever doing that unless I absolutely have to. Because nope.
I have very vivid memories about her going, all right, we're going to pull this out, and not being quite awake, but not quite asleep enough for what she did to me.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what alien probing is like, I assume. It makes your pee hole hurt.
This all started with the man we'll call Gang Stalker.
Gang Stalker! I mean, it sounds like a bad blaxploitation film. Gang Stalker. I gotta take that sucker down.
Has anybody found out who Gang Stalker is?
I don't know.
Do we know who he's referring to in this?
Well, if it's anything like other gang stalking, it's made up by paranoid schizophrenics.
Oh, I know who it was. It was her trafficker.
Yeah, did you see the thing about the guy that was like her on again, off again boyfriend? She was calling him Osiris.
The basketball player, yeah.
Yeah. Ugh. Ridiculous.
Is Venti the gang stalker? I don't believe so. If I had to guess, oh shit, what was his name? I would guess it's Manuel.
Oh yeah,
But that would be the closest guess I had, and not deep enough into the lore to know who he's talking about.
Anyhow, I never even thought of that dude.
Well, the only reason I say him is because he has been involved in other things. Like right before he ended up getting kicked off of Twitter, he had one going after Mario Nafal.
Oh.
Who was a piece of shit scam artist.
Yeah.
Anyway, Defango, that's what people are saying. Is that who you guys think he's talking about? As much as everyone crying, wait. Yeah. I'm just making sure we're in the right spot. In the wake of the Twitter suspensions, we did that one. Gang Stalker. There we are. Sorry, I had to find where our Gang Stalker was. Let me scroll that up so I don't lose it again. The Gang Stalker runs a circle that's been accused of controlling hundreds, if not thousands, of bogus Twitter accounts buying black SUVs and parking outside people's homes to intimidate, and even injecting something into someone who would wake up 2 weeks later with a piece of their mind missing. Right.
I'm sorry. I fall back to paranoid schizophrenic right now.
Yeah, I don't think this is Manuel. Maybe it is. This could also be lore they created themselves to make them sound bigger, scarier than they really are. But I've seen photos of one man in particular who they stalked online and drove into a mental institution. When people say they don't want to talk about this, you should understand why. These are not good people.
Well, now they had the SUV. Did they literally drive him to the mental institution?
Or maybe
metaphorically drive him into the mental institution?
For fuck's sake.
Why did this article get pulled again? Oh, scary black SUV. What, the men in black abducting you? What the shit?
Look at this light. Click.
Are we still talking about the UABs?
I just want to remind you that Tim Pool, probably based on the information he was getting from this fucking retard, went out there telling everybody about the PR firm behind this.
Yes, the PR firm which hired gang stalker to go out and harass people and abduct somebody and put him in a mental institution. They've taken a piece of his brain. This is absolutely insane sounding.
It is, and that's what makes it so fun. And this is why I was so sad when I only got to read parts of it. And I'm so glad to the wonderful gentleman who was kind enough to archive this.
Forethought is a rare trait of that individual, but really worked out in our favor this time.
All right. Oh, sorry. Got distracted by something else.
That's okay.
Oh.
By the way, for those of you that don't know what gang stalking is, we should probably address that real fast because that kind of does relate to why the name gang stalker's there. So there's people out there on the internet. We kind of went over this yesterday, so I'll make it quick. There's people out there that think they're being followed, and it's by a nebulous team of people known as gang stalkers, and they're usually associated with some sort of shadowy government agency or whatever. And they switch people and vehicles and have like hand signs, like they grab their arm or something. And if a normal person looks at it, you're like, that dude's just standing there. He's not even looking at you. No, he's a gang stalker, they'll say. They're people that are paranoid, and they're usually paranoid schizophrenics.
Keldrick, thank you. This article is somehow gayer than Tim Pool and the Quarterings makeup sex. Yeah, you're not wrong. But we're going to push ahead with it anyway, just like they did.
Balls deep.
This guy, and we'll get to it later if we read this much of it, he honestly thinks that people who disagree with him are all the same dude.
Yes.
So if you've said anything to Shane Cashman this last week, he probably thinks you're somebody else. Don't harass Shane Cashman. The guy's a fucking retard. If you want to tell him that he's stupid or whatever, I'm not your dad. You do you, but it doesn't accomplish anything. I think he's pretty much ruined his career here. I don't know how you come back from something like this.
Yeah, it looks like he might be mentally unbalanced.
The gang stalker says he works for money. He says he works for fame. But I think he mostly wants chaos among the independent media landscape. When I read this line, I thought he was talking about Medicare.
Yeah.
This man puts a lot of effort into making sure everyone knows who he is, and I will not add to his status. And that's the part of like, no, that's not Medicare. So this guy, everybody knows who he is, but I'm not going to name him. Seriously, if anybody can give me the name of who this gang stalker supposedly is, I would really, really enjoy it.
Just for the record, I'm dropping the link to the BitChute video of Mr. Medicare's Internet Insanity on gang stalking.
Oh, cool.
So I highly recommend watching it because it's fucking hilarious.
Will you drop that one in DMs? I've never read that one or never watched that one.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
DeFango suppose really That's who it supposedly is? All right.
See, I still don't know who this person is, and they have this much power. Like, they're up there with George Soros because they can kidnap people and, like, have parts of their brains cut out and shit. That's crazy.
He could very well be reading this out loud on his live string as we. Sorry, I said live string because I started laughing.
Oh my God, are we this?
Are
person?
we them? Fuck, it's us.
We're pretty lazy. I don't know. None of this fits us. Fucker.
Fuck. He could very well be reading this out loud on his live stream as we speak with the condescending tones he uses for my stories. I think we have a clue.
What, is it us?
No, this is the first time we've ever done it. I don't think I've ever read any of his stuff out loud on the stream before.
But he thinks everything is done by the same person.
Oh, yeah.
We're obviously both this person. It's like being a skeptic clone.
Yeah, you guys do not understand how hard it is for us to speak over ourselves.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
To throw people off our gang stalking. Laughing at the same time is the hardest part.
It really is. It requires a lot of work.
I respect the work ethic. Hey, timely. Dude live streams all the time. He is talking about us.
Apparently.
Live streams all the time and supposedly works at a casino or Uber Eats. Is it Jarbo?
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. It's talking about Jarbo.
Fuck, it's everybody.
Well, they're all the same person. This dude's everywhere. He's like fucking James Bond or something. Oh, hey, real quick. Thank you, Eliza. I'm telling you too, my pimp's name isn't Ranting Simeon. He slapped me through phone hard. It's Ranting Simeon. He slapped me through phone hard. Oh no, monkey. Don't slap bitches through the phone.
No, gotta do that in real life. Don't slap bitches.
Well,
or he's a Fed.
Oh, there it is. It's Fed.
He's a Men in Black Boulder Medicare dude. Us.
Look, I've never seen Medicare and Boulder Boy in the same room. We've seen them on the same stream. That doesn't mean it wasn't faked.
Or he's the hero in all of this, and I'm the insane one.
Going with that one.
There's the broken clock for you right there. If you know the man that started the thread that threw Eliza's timeline into question, then you know his name. You are talking about him, but you have the wrong guy. He's not the one who. I mean, he did start that thread, but he's not the one that started it, and he even acknowledges it in that thread. He is talking about Manuel.
Manuel is also the other guy, and us, and probably they're all clones of Armored Skeptic. Oh dear God, it all comes back to him.
Is he also the porn star who was in on this? The female porn star who was in on all this?
Look, I don't know what that dude does in his time or what surgeries he's had.
Wow. I wish he wasn't kicked off of Twitter. I'd reach out to him again and ask him about this.
Right? Thank you, Keldrig. He's everybody all the time. Yeah, apparently. We're all Russian Fed bots.
Has Manuel claimed that he got somebody stuck in a mental institution?
I don't think so. I didn't see anything about that.
That's a weird thing to claim out loud, especially.
Yeah. Also, that would be kind of libelous.
If you know the man who started the thread that threw Eliza's timeline into question, then you know his name. I find his tactics to be incredibly dangerous, dubiously legal, and absolutely sinister. All right. I don't know about all the other crazy shit you said about the guy. I really don't, dude. But his thread on Eliza just told about Eliza.
No, that was sinister, Monkey. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Because Manuel is the Fango. Go read his timeline. Maybe. But he might also be that umbrella guy. And all of those personalities conspired to gang stalk. And it was crazy, man. You don't understand, man. He has the power to get people's brains manipulated.
I have been on the receiving end of his tactics. I see anyone in his surroundings as a threat and worthy of total distrust. Perhaps he's only a troll.
I'm not paranoid.
But I think it's much darker than that. I think everyone should be weary of the way he does business. Are you ever going to get to Eliza?
No.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
He does not work alone. He does not operate in the shadows. He is vocal about his services. The gang stalker has affiliated with a now supposedly defunct company called Shadowbox. Their website stated, "This is war. Shadowbox is your army. We solve your problems and expose truth. We unleash a multifaceted strategic battle plan through integrated research, earned media, legal, and digital chaos." Where is this the PR firm he's supposedly talking about? Where your enemies have lied to paint you as the bad guy, we sow the seeds of doubt and present the counter narrative that they are, in fact, the villains, and you have been unjustly accused. We do this through sophisticated use of internet technology, meme creation, PR, and cyber guerrilla tactics that stop the bleeding and begin to sway public opinion and the media in your favor. What we do. Shadowbox designs crisis management counterinsurgencies to debunk and hit back at malicious and defamatory online and media attacks on our clients. Sounds like somebody Eliza should have hired. Our operations unit effectively routes adversary. Did they mean roots? Okay. Away from you, sending them to chase phantoms and rendering them exhausted and perplexed. Wow. Twitter legend says, "Hey, monkey, you are a punk. Fuck you, son. Don't call me son." I don't believe ruining Eliza was their main goal. I think they reverse engineered a chaos. Jesus fuck, he's come up with a whole story for this. A whole story. Reverse engineered a chaos scenario. Maybe they wanted to use her to discredit Elon Musk. Maybe they wanted to use her to destroy Twitter. Jesus fuck. This is now to take down Twitter itself. Oh my God. You need therapy, homie. Shane, seriously, listen to me. You need therapy. Maybe they wanted to see her or use her to destroy that. But I think it's most likely they wanted to destroy the landscape. I have a theory based on what I've seen from Gangstalker and the people he's practically brainwashed with a deception campaign. What part of it? What part of it is wrong? I'm being dead seriously here, or dead seriously. Whoops. What part of it did Manuel, if that's who you're talking, or any of the people, except for you saying that they, said that she worked for Twitter, what part's wrong? Is it that she's a hooker? I mean, I don't know. I have a theory. Brainwash deception campaign. He's wicked smart, and I believe he sees everyone involved as chess pieces. He knows how everyone will react to certain situations. He has studied you so he can destroy you, and he will profit off your corpse. This was a story he wrote and turned in, and they published. To their credit, they did finally take it down, probably after they heard all the collective laughter. But for God's sake, man, this is unhinged. This should disturb everyone, especially the ones who are so up in arms about who is and isn't grifting to whatever grift standards the grifters uphold. Jack, we just read one of the most unhinged paragraphs I've read in my entire life.
Oh, yeah, you got to the shadow box bit, huh?
We're down. This is his theory about what the gang stalker is. The gang stalker...
Bringing down Elon Musk.
The gang stalker has studied you, and he knows all about you and how you're going to react in every situation.
Oh, it probably went through my trash, too.
Probably, man. I mean,
pretty gross considering some of the shit I throw away.
The gang stalker has also laughed about the way one associate who has used gang stalk tactics to drive two people to commit suicide. What?
What? Libra Wolf said, I'm scared, monkey. I need to sleep now. No, you can't sleep because there's a gang stalker out there somewhere. And he's plotting with disinformation and memes.
This is fucking unreal.
This is somebody that's online too much and probably has some mental issues.
This is worse than I ever expected this to be. Even with the parts that I had read, it wasn't this unhinged. Fuck.
Yeah. And I'm kind of surprised that Tim... Well, no, I'm not, because Tim's pretty stupid. But he fell for this and was like, it's PR firm from LA. Vikings, right? I don't know who talked Tim into taking this down, but it was a good thing he did. Because this is insane sounding. This sounds like some conspiracy theory level shit that like Carbide Steel is working with the reptilians kind of level. It's paranoid. Yeah, Kyler, don't sleep. The clowns might eat you. Thank you for Kane Lopemit. These people are so, quote, advanced. They are survivors of the Matrix. All hail Neo. Yeah, it is kind of that level of insane.
Reader, you must be vigilant not to open strange links from people pretending to be your friend. You must remain vigilant that you are not sharing too much personal information with somebody you think is an ally. The gang stalker will infiltrate your personal digital space, and then, when he's ready, he will flood you with a psychological attack. I've seen this happen to colleagues for the past few weeks, including myself. Of course,
even my colleagues have been brainwashed. I can't trust anyone.
He has been too, no, including myself. He says,
"Is he missing time? Is one of his kidneys gone?"
Of course, it's not all manufactured, but I'm positive a lot of it is. I don't suppose you have any proof of any of that.
Proof? He just told you it's proof enough, right? That's how this works.
Keever, no, this was written by a man named Shane Cashman who works for Tim Pool. My theory says there's a man who sold subscriptions to be a part of his private group. This man talked about honesty, fatherhood, and masculine. Wait, is the gang stalker Jack Murphy?
Jack Murphy, Apex Predator.
He earned a lot of members. His platform grew. He would appear as a frequent guest on many popular podcasts. Is he seriously talking about Jack Murphy?
He might be. Cougar Knife said he's already infiltrated my goldfish. You gotta be careful about them goldfish. They're always watching, dude.
They got those tiny brains. It's easy to wash. And they're already in the water. So, I mean, your poor goldfish, man. It would come to light that this man had what appeared to be a sword. He's talking about fucking Jack Murphy. If you want to call it that. Everyone found out this man had done porn in the past. He was sticking shit up his own ass.
Yeah, I don't think that jerking off and sticking the dildos up your butt isn't exactly what I would call quality porn.
Everyone found out this man had done porn in the past, written articles about some strange sex practices, having his wife sleep with other men, and when she came home, peeing on her to reestablish dominance.
Yeah, that's Jack Murphy for sure.
And suddenly, explicit images of him began to circulate around the internet. All right, he's talking about Jack Murphy here, and let's talk about why that happened. Because Jack Murphy's not smart enough to have separated all of this stuff.
Yeah. He also had the articles about him peeing on his girlfriend or on his website.
Yeah.
People just backed all that crap up. Smart people. Before anybody could take it down because he said stupid shit.
Nobody had to infiltrate. It was there.
Yeah, it was
And
wide open, available to the public.
the people that followed him at the time got concerned because he's presenting himself as this masculine man, Jack Murphy, apex predator. And what he was writing was actually kind of going against that. Cucking out your wife like that, not really apex predator kind of stuff.
Yeah.
The man in question was
apex.
The man in question was practically banished, pushed outside of our polite society. Oh, wait. You skipped a whole section in there. You skipped a whole section about how this got kicked off. People have been asking about this for a long time. It had been following him and he'd been ignoring it. And then he went shitbag on Sydney Watson.
If he hadn't reacted the way he did, I think a lot less people would have been interested in what that was all about.
Yeah, if he hadn't been such a cunt about it, sorry, YouTube. If he hadn't been such a cunt about it, this story never blows up the way it did.
Yeah.
This was him. Because all of the articles and stuff about this had already been written. It was, sorry, my sinuses, guys. I keep having to mute and we get a little dead air there. That's me coughing or blowing my nose in the background. I apologize. I could do it on air if you prefer, so we don't have dead air.
No.
Which do you guys prefer, dead air or snot? Talk amongst yourselves. Pick. Anyway, well, when this happened, we saw a distinct fracture in the way YouTube personalities discussed that situation. The man in question was practically banished. I found his story to be perverse, but I also believe in redemption. And see, this is why it's important to bring up how this all kicked off, because I don't think Jack Murphy needs any redemption for pissing on his wife and having other guys bang her. That's between him and his wife. It's just weird. In order for him to ever get redemption, it starts with a sincere apology to Sydney.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
No, because he's Apex Jack now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Notice how he's kind of vanished. Now, if people were to read, I don't know, this article right here about him hoeing his wife out, that would be, in his own words, from his own website. It's on him.
I found his story to be perverse, but I also believe in redemption and believe that people can change from what they used to be, unless, of course, our puritanical overlords have anything to say about it. Then they will spam places like Twitter until all you see are naked images of some stranger. It's a nauseating and gruesome business practice, if you even want to call it that. Nobody forced that man to put porn of himself ramming shit up his own ass on the internet. He did it.
Look, your hate facts have no place here.
Some internet personalities turn the naked images of this man into a business model. No, they talked about the story, dipshit. Now he's blaming Jack's grift victims. Yes. It's exactly what he's doing. Not our Jack Murphy. Apex Predator.
Jack Murphy! Real quick. Thank you, Frosted Glass. You can't build this guy up as more of a threat than John Wick and Liam Neeson and Taken combined, then reveal it's the guy who shoved stuff up his ass on camera for money. Oh,
hang on. No. These are two different. That's a little miscommunication that's going on here. The person he's talking about right now is Jack Murphy. That's not the gang stalker. Just for clarity. What he's doing right now is he's laying out another scenario where somebody got taken down. Oddly enough, another of Tim's frequent guests.
Yeah.
So even though he's not naming the person right here, this is a separate unnamed individual, just for clarity. This is not the gang stalker. This is somebody, even though I don't think he pointed as the gang stalker did it this time. It's that kind of scenario, you see.
Yeah, even though Jack Murphy did this to himself repeatedly, instead of saying, if he had handled that situation with Sidney Watson better, he would have been 1,000 times better off than he is now.
Well, in fairness, Apex Predator didn't necessarily take himself down. Dick and Balls did that, and he just helped.
Yeah, well, his childish reaction to the whole thing just didn't help him at all. Dick and Balls just kind of facilitated the opportunity because he knew that this guy would flip out.
And, sir, we still salute you.
Hell yeah. Best value for the dollar on the Super Chat I think I've ever seen.
Some internet personalities turned the naked images into a business model. Others remained quiet. Some of the audience wanted it to be addressed. Others didn't care. I could be way off base. Understatement of the year, homie. But after researching the gang stalker, and you're supposed to be doing a story on Eliza, and you're out there digging into the guy who just told everybody what she did. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, this has gone so far askew of what they were supposed to be talking about.
But after researching the gang stalker and the wild claims he's made, such as starring QAnon, hey, Shane, do you think maybe that was a joke?
Nope. Jokes those were disallowed 5 years ago, Monkey. You know that.
You think maybe he was fucking around on Twitter?
What? People don't do that. It's a serious place, Twitter.
I believe it's possible he used Eliza to create a similar situation as the one just described.
Was she sticking dildos up her ass too?
Probably, but you had to pay extra.
Oh, really?
If this theory is true, he probably understood how everyone would react. He knew who would jump on the bandwagon and meme the target into oblivion, and he knew who would remain quiet. He knew how the audience would react, and I think he knew that he could make the seed of all of this seem organic while also orchestrating an army of bots to make these names trend, tricking us into thinking any of this is that important.
Timmy Pool accused everybody of being bots. You're all bots, I tell you.
I've seen a lot of people talk about the Eliza Bleu thing. A lot of people that I see talk about other things that I know aren't bots, Jack.
No, they're bots paid for by a Russian PR firm. Yeah, that's it. Based out of LA. That's secretly run by the Deros from the Hollow Earth.
You know, at this point, I would reach out to Manuel, but given this, he probably thinks I would reach out to him, and I don't want to be predictable.
No, because then you'd be a bot. See,
yeah,
you don't know you're a bot, Monkey. That's the trick. That's why all those bots that were in membership only mode on Timcast, it was shocking how many of them got involved in there.
Yeah, it's amazing. You know, spending $500 just to get bots into Timmy's fucking audience. Sorry, that would only be 50 people. $1,000 to get them in there.
Right? It's worth every penny by that PR firm, which apparently has limitless money, and they hang out with gang stalkers so that they can change somebody's reputation on the internet.
Keldrick, thank you. He could have saved many words by saying some people cared, some didn't, or people had reactions. This is the kind of paranoid shit you should never put into public.
Yeah.
This is just weird. But you're right. He could have something happened, and that could have been the entire fucking article. So far, to this point. If he's reading right now, he's probably thinking he should tell people I'm giving him more credit than he deserves. Wow. He really thinks he's a mind reader. He thinks he's really smart.
Yeah, well, of course he does. Oh, my bad. It was subscriber mode, not members mode.
Oh, yeah. Subscribers mode. Well, no, for who? Tim?
Yeah, because he only went members mode on Friday.
Oh, okay. The last time I saw him, it was subscriber or members only.
Yeah, when it was subscriber mode, though, he was still calling everybody that disagreed with him bots and working for a PR firm, people canceling memberships. Like, he lost money by doing that crap. Tim's an idiot.
Yeah, Faith says you're wrong, Monk. Tim Shat only went members only on Friday. I'll take your word for it, but I would swear last time I was in there, he was on members only, because I went to chat and it wouldn't let me, and I don't subscribe, so maybe that's it.
Yeah.
But all right.
Yeah, it was probably subscribers mode. I screwed that up. That's my fault.
No, I said that the other day too, so that'd be on me too. Absolutely did. I said that this morning.
Oh.
So yeah.
I don't remember that long ago.
I've been wrong before, not the first time.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you for pointing it out, Faithless.
Yeah.
Now you realize
losing subs like that by insulting your audience and calling them like fake, that's pretty rude.
Faithless is clearly a gang stalker trying to make us look bad, Jack.
Not buying it. He's too good at his job if that's the case.
He knew exactly how we'd react.
Bots aren't this
Son
funny.
Of a bitch.
Gang stalkers aren't hilarious.
Yes, son of a bitch.
Nice try, monkey. Trying to convince me that Faithless is against me.
Where are we? Oh, he's reading this. That may be. I think there are a lot of people working with him, and they are either associates or they are bots. But the ones who've been the most cruel online to me and others all follow each other. It's a web of chaos agents. Hey, homie, I don't know if you know this. Like-minded people tend to find each other. And
yeah,
it's not that there's anything nefarious about it. This will probably blow your mind, man. Some people who like football talk football with me on Twitter from time to time.
What?
I know, it's fucking weird.
So you're gang stalking football teams, eh?
We are gang stalking the NFL. God, he's actually paranoid. Like, clinically. Oh, you don't have a doctorate, monkey. I know, but I can see paranoia. This dude's fucking loon. Of course, eventually, real people will pick up the situation and then offer credibility to the concern. So Manuel's not an actual real person? Can I just reiterate that he's not the one that started this? He was third to the party as far as I can find.
Your hate facts have no place here.
He didn't get on the bandwagon until December of 2022. The first thread about this chick came from another guy was that the guy or the porn star? I forget which one. That came in mid 2021. There's another one in 2022 that's either the porn star or the other guy, because I can't remember which one. And then Manuel doesn't get on it until December. So I'm not sure which one's the real person.
I don't know.
If any.
He also doesn't seem to understand that things like Reddit and Kiwi Farms are a thing.
Right.
So that people can connect to each other. Like somebody will post something hilarious on a board and other people flock there, or use hashtags on Twitter. He does get that, right? Like, yeah. That's how you find other people.
No, in his world, he's the only. Him, Eliza, and Jack Murphy are the only real people on the internet.
Oh, yeah. My bad.
It's the best I got from what we've read so far.
That's not sociopathic at all. You're all just cardboard cutouts.
Once that happens, it's out of the gang stalker's hands, but not entirely. He can still do things like create websites in real time on his live stream and throw them into the internet to confuse everyone.
He's creating websites on his live streams?
Apparently. On a recent live stream, the gang stalker created the website HelenChoyModeling.com. It was registered on February 2nd, 2023, and populated with old photos of Eliza Bleu. Eliza does remember modeling for them years ago. But I talked to a model who would like to remain anonymous, who'd been involved with Helen Choi Modeling. Supposedly, they shut down a long time ago. She said it looked like the company's Instagram and website have completely changed from years ago. Weird. She told me if they looked this way when she first attempted to work with them, she wouldn't have taken them seriously. It is clear that the company folded and then someone created fake profiles and a website in order to use them in a smear campaign against Eliza. Are they real pictures of her?
Is it really for a smear campaign, or is somebody just catfishing randos on the internet?
Oh, you know what it is? It's trafficking, Jack.
Oh my God! No,
We
it's
learned
a bunch
this.
of like fucking Nigerians pretending they're women to get suckers to give them money.
Look, he may have made the fucking thing. I don't know. It's irrelevant, honestly.
Oh, oh my God! Oh my God! Wait, I figured it out. Is he gonna blame Andrew Tate for this?
Maybe, because look, if we're going to talk about what really brought this to Britney's attention, it would be the Andrew Tate stuff. So, I would be surprised if the fake article about Elon Musk unfollowing Eliza also came from the gang stalker. They dropped false realities into a narrative and watched them blossom into 5-hour live streams where people gasp in shock at another completely fake bit of information. Now, we didn't talk about this. This was supposedly Elon stopped following her, and she says he never followed her, so I don't know. I have no idea if he ever followed her or not. Don't much care.
I don't give a shit either way. I'm more concerned about his trust and safety person banning people for talking about Eliza.
Yep.
That's more interesting.
Oh my God, I forgot about this part. The private investigator, BX Bullet, who had experienced a similar smear campaign, looked into the domain. We'll talk about her in a minute. The website URL was registered the previous day. In addition, the registrant data for the website matches that of the gang stalker's website. You needed a PI to look up the Who's It data? Wow. And yes, BX Bullet. Do you know who BX Bullet is?
No.
Oh, God.
Is that Beast Boy's alternate identity?
No. They're not related at all.
Oh, okay.
She's this wannabe titty streamer who also wants to be taken seriously as a conservative pundit who's made an ass of herself everywhere she's gone.
Oh.
Like literally everywhere she's gone. She got into a tiff with a guy named Tipster. He's part of the commentary / tea community.
Oh yeah. I know that name.
Yeah, the little fat guy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Alex has mentioned him before.
Yeah. And Tipster, they I don't know if they had even actually interacted much, if at all. And she finds a fake account of his. It's not him, who makes some comment about her, and she goes off on him and starts reporting him for saying it.
But if he didn't say it, why is she reporting him?
Because she's not fucking smart.
Oh,
and she wasn't.
Yeah, fair enough.
And instead of just admitting, oh my God, I got it wrong, she keeps doubling and tripling down. There's a whole drama thread that you can follow on this stuff. She's also debated people like Hunter and Destiny. She's a trip. She's a fucking trip, man.
She sounds fun.
Tipster's soy, but he owned her. Yeah. She did she made a complete ass of herself on that. I've only had a couple of interactions with her, and yeah, she's unhinged. I'll say that. Makes sense that this is who this guy's hooking up with and chatting with. Anyway, yeah, and she claims to be a private detective, which, sure, all right. We must remain vigilant with whom we speak on this hellscape that is the internet. It's important to me that we identify this as a problem. We should be able to use this knowledge for maximum good. Instead of jumping to pile on someone before anyone knows the full story, we should reserve judgment, find grace in patience. Okay. Pause right there, because we need to talk for a second. Nobody gives a shit that she was a prostitute in a former life. I mean, there's stuff to be said there about that, all right? And it's important. But none of this would be being talked about. This would have blown over quickly, and she could go back to being her advocate who lies about her being a whore, okay? Instead of just owning her past or ignoring it, she started striking people down for it. Under the most bullshit reasons. Easily provably bullshit reasons. They took screenshots of a public video. This is before we even know that she's the one who set up the video, before we see that she says she's happy the video went up. This is a video that was on Twitter or on YouTube for 6 fucking years. And people took pictures, screenshots of that. No, not BS bullet, BX. X as in Xavier.
As in Latinx.
Yeah, there you go. This isn't just about her being a dirty whore. This is about her being a free speech absolutist who was provably full of shit as soon as the story jumped. Just saying. No, not joke missed. Somebody was asking, dude. That's why I clarified the BX. Where are we? I think we are all the target: indie media, journalists, commentators, content creators, and our audience. This should not have become the spectacle it mutated into. No offense to Eliza, but whether or not her story is true should never have become the spectacle it became. Why would that be an offense to her?
I don't know.
If it's not offensive, you don't have to say no offense, you fucking retard. I don't like when people say that. Don't misuse no offense, because sometimes I mean offense. And you're really well, you're taking my culture, and I don't appreciate the appropriation.
You know who I do appreciate? Keldrag. Thank you for the donation. People named Shane should be allowed to speak. Well, they should be allowed near keyboards, apparently, if they're this mentally off.
This is a distraction. I understand the need to call out hypocrites and bad faith actors in our circles. We need to have tough discussions. We should condemn censorship.
Except when Eliza does it.
We should also try and understand someone before ridiculing them into oblivion. I am guilty. You are guilty. These past few weeks have proven to me that not even the anti-establishment is immune from the mob mentality. This guy's really starting to annoy me with this article. Because
just now?
Well, yeah, I mean, it was just humorous at the beginning, but now he's on his holier than thou bullshit. We're all guilty. Look, these things do come and go. People get mobbed when they don't really deserve it. Eliza does. And just because you got to go out there and hang out with her and you both had the gang stalkers say mean things about you doesn't mean she's innocent. And again, you're not even touching on the major point of what caused all this. Just like you ignored with Jack Murphy. You notice he's ignored the inciting incident with each of these retards. Where are we here? We've all participated in a psyop, but we can move forward and learn to identify this tactic. We've seen who will cave to. All this makes me think, Shane, is you got some serious skeletons in your closet.
Yeah.
Guys, if you hear anything about me, remember, we're moving on from these kind of things. We've seen who will cave to entertain a conversation in the fashion the mob demands. I entertain conversations in what I find interesting. If it amuses me or I find it mentally stimulating, I'll talk about it. if there's things that don't, even if you guys want me to talk about it, I'm not interested. Sorry. But you should always try. If you can talk about something your audience is interested in, that's just a good idea to do. I'm just saying. They are here to listen to you, you dumb fuck. We can't all be Tim and be above the fray and talk about obscure things that really matter, like apex predators and Andrew Tate. I mean, he had that really great conversation with Ye and Nick Fuentes. Oh my God. Hang on. I just saw that sentence. We got to get there. They have destabilized us and they sit on our live streams or sit on their live streams every day, mocking each and every one of us. Even the ones that used to push the thread, which for the most part is canceled out by Eliza's side of the story. Bullshit. Which renders both unnecessary. But so many people are unwilling to allow themselves to step back and question their full-blown hatred. Wait for it, Jack. I want to get this one right. They seek to make you feel paranoid.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's seeking to make you feel paranoid, homie. I think you just are.
Yeah, I would go along with that.
Are there no editors at Timcast?
Look, man, editors, they're establishment. We're rogues here.
I wonder if the real reason this was taken down was it actually brings up Murphy, who Tim had conveniently memory hold. Well, remember, they didn't actually mention Murphy's name. No, I think this one got taken down because this is insane.
Yeah, because this is the paranoid ramblings of a lunatic. That's how it reads to me anyway. If this is supposed to be something, they're calling it gonzo journalism because everybody that says they're gonzo journalists really want to be Hunter S. Thompson. And they can't because they have very little talent. This person seems to need psychological help.
It seems extreme and schizoid to say all of this out loud.
Yeah, dark.
If you listen to these, you will learn that this is a real problem we all really need to be suspicious of. It is so easy to sow discord in communities. No one is immune from getting tweaked by hate and confusion when you've been convinced you must be in the right.
Like that you're being gang stalked.
This is so weird. In the wake of the Twitter suspension connected with the World Star Hip Hop video, a lot of YouTube commentators started saying that podcasts should start vetting their guests better.
That's not what happened in the wake of the World Star video. There seemed to be some holes here.
He literally already wrote that sentence. We already read that.
Look, he's got a word limit to get paid.
I would suggest the same should go for your sources of information, the people you're willing to pal around with. He repeated that paragraph.
Yeah, and that was like an extra 10 cents he just made.
Jesus Christ. I would love to see all the YouTube personalities involved with this Eliza Bleu drama make videos detailing the way gang stalkers can infiltrate a community.
Yeah.
They have much bigger platforms than me. You work with Tim Pool.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And I'd love to see them alert their audiences that we all need to be seriously vigilant. He really loves the word vigilant.
Yeah.
About this destruction being aimed at any one of us in the future. I'm telling you, he's got some skeletons.
Yeah. Also, he thinks gang stalking is real.
I'm sure the gang stalker will do this to me. See, I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
Continue to do this to me, as I believe has been the case for the last few weeks. The thing is, the gang stalker will rejoice that he's been mentioned in articles and videos. He's been waiting for people to find him. He doesn't try to hide it. You mean like Eliza wanting to be famous?
Yeah, seriously, guys, watch the Medicare video on gang stalking. It is a classic example of people with paranoid schizophrenia. They're seeing connections where there aren't any. It's very, very fucked up. And being a targeted person is incredibly rare, and it's usually like the FBI surveilling you. Gang stalking is not real for the average retard, okay? You're not important enough. I'm sorry.
This is insanity.
Yeah, this guy is a nobody. He's not important enough to be gang stalked.
No, what happened is he wrote a really stupid piece that was fluffy on Eliza without asking her any real questions. And then he followed it up with an even fluffier piece where he goes into full-on defense mode. And he was getting pushback for it because he's a fucking idiot.
Yeah. Yeah, and now it's an organized effort to silence me as an independent journalist. No, you're just paranoid, dude, and you said dumb shit. Just be like, oh, yeah, maybe I was wrong. I said some dumb shit. Or be like, these people are idiots. They don't know what they're talking about.
Here's a recent conversation between two of the gang stalkers on their podcast in which they attempted to be a sort of inverted version of another popular show.
Oh, is this it? Is this us?
I don't think so.
Is it Matt Christensen? He's been hoping for a hit piece.
I've been hoping for one myself, but first of all, nobody can ever accuse me of copying somebody else's show because here on YouTube, I mean, when it comes to streaming, I've been around more than most of them, Jack. I'm not taking credit for inventing anything, but I can't say I copied anybody like a Tim Pool.
We're funnier anyway.
Keldrick, thank you. Dude's got a whole boneyard in his closet, dude. They should really dig up his fucking front yard. They're going to find some missing people.
Yeah, he's going to be like, the dog, he piddles. Check the crawl space, guys. We got a Gacy.
Okay, so we're in. This is a take from that podcast. Hopefully I can get more popular, one said. They brainstorm how they pretend to turn on each other online to create chaos and gain more popularity. It's like watching two villains talk inside an aquarium. I'm a controlled op. My dad works for the government. You're in cahoots with Twitter. I can give you material to leak about me. They define gang stalking. Working with a gang to stalk people, something that paranoid people says happened to them, but also a thing that happens in real life. It means that a group of people are stalking you all at the same time and trying to make you feel crazy. We know someone who's a professional at this. Sometimes they'll do it until you kill yourself. We know exactly what kind of tactics these people use. That's how we're capable of identifying them.
It sounds like they're talking about what gang stalking is, not plotting it. Again, you're finding things that don't relate.
It sounds like he stumbled upon some people either joking or trying to sound more important than they are. Both happen on the internet quite a lot.
Yeah. And there's a lot of people that just found out about gang stalking that start talking about it on their podcast.
Yeah.
And I think that's what this is. This doesn't sound like, it sounds like people fucking around.
They know how fragile people can be under the crushing wave of a digital attack. So many people's entire identities are uploaded to the internet.
Well, then you're an idiot. And you
This
should
is
go
why
outside.
This is why it pains people to be banned from a site like Twitter, to lose a YouTube channel. It's a public square, and the gang stalkers lurking there to destroy you.
Paranoia. I'm telling you, this is straight up paranoia. Oh yeah, my entire life is on the internet. Well, get a fucking hobby, weirdo. Take up knitting.
Yeah, people don't like their YouTubes going away because many people make money off of it. Many people don't like their Twitter going away because they don't like being shut down for no reason. And many of us use it as a way to get our other content out there.
Yeah.
No, it's because you put everything online. Shut up, dickhead.
No, it's because we can make fun of Spurgs on the internet.
I kind of want to fuck with this guy, to be honest with you. And I'm not saying anybody do it.
No.
But
we cannot encourage that.
I'm quite convinced that I could make this guy believe in Jewish space lasers at this point.
Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't already.
Hey, Shane, Jewish space lasers are helping the gang stalker get inside your brain, man. It's how he's reading. It's how he knows what you're going to do. If he ever sees this, you realize he's going to report that as a fact, right?
Probably. I don't know. We got to come up with something kind of different so that it sounds more believable. Because Jewish space lasers been around for a while. I think we have to go with the football team, the Bears, are controlled opposition, and they are using the fan that you use in the summer to spy on you with a listening device and slip in secret radio broadcasts.
I just don't know what this guy is on. It would be one thing if he was high. I've been talking a lot about my idea of the simulation theory. We aren't in some computer-generated reality. Rather, we are born into base reality, original reality, and then there are actors who work to warp reality through the use of manufactured information. Oh, please say the word misinformation for me. The gang stalker is an engineer of just one simulation. It's impossible to know how many run at once. Jesus Christ.
Paranoid.
This is who the balloons are coming for.
Oh, yeah. Clearly, the Chinese want to spy on him with their balloons. Would you like a balloon, little boy?
I fear. Have you seen the Freedom Tunes Joe Biden balloon thing?
No.
Oh my God, you got to check it out. The Chinese balloon from Freedom Tunes. Watch it, guys. It's like a minute and a half. It's a good one. Anyway, I fear the way gang stalkers will evolve their tactics with deep fakes and AI and deep. All right, I'm going to read that again. With tactics, with deep fakes and AI and deep fakes. So deep fakes.
Balls deep fakes.
If they haven't already. I've seen friends create AI voices that sound just like us. I don't know if all fully understand how wary we must be as we move into the future, where large, more perverse, more wicked reverse PR campaigns will be unleashed, ones that will be even harder to identify. All right, for the umpteenth time, there's no deep fake about any of this stuff. Everything we know about Eliza comes from the whore's mouth.
That's what the LA PR firm wants you to think, Monkey. Clearly, that video is a deep fake.
She hasn't suggested that anything that's been said that you can see her in videos was fake. None of it. What the fuck is this retard talking about? Jesus Christ. Where are we? It's digital guerrilla warfare. This is too important to ignore. Aside from watching what I believe to be the heinous character assassination, this needs to be shared so people know not to fall victim to these campaigns. So when you read something about me humping my dog, you'll know it's not true. Just because it's on video, it's clearly me. There's a timer in the background.
I think you may have added part of that there.
It's in the penumbra.
Oh, yeah. Fair enough.
We need to figure out together how we can shield ourselves from gang stalkers. He will come for you tomorrow, even if you were friends yesterday. Everyone is focused on nuclear war, the doomsday clock, but war has changed. The most deceptive war is the war on the soul. Seriously, this is his Eliza coverage?
This is his Eliza coverage. But we all know that war never changes. I think this guy thinks he's Hemingway or something. The most deceptive war is the war on the soul. Oh, my God.
I'm going to be honest. I think the war on Soul Train was worse.
The show?
Yeah.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
Everybody likes Soul Train.
Disco, man. It's a bitch.
Real Thank you, Keldrick. Beware the digital gorillas.
Oh shit, I'm a digital monkey. Fuck.
Yeah,
This is monkey
obviously
warfare.
you are part of the digital insurgency here, monkey.
The nukes have shrunk down into virus-sized weapon. What?
I think he's talking about like suitcase bombs or something.
But virus-sized?
Maybe he's thinking that like you can explode tiny shit in people. I don't know. This guy's nuts.
The thought. A simple thread on Twitter that doesn't make sense once you realize Eliza was born in 1981, that she was trafficked 2 times. Okay, we got to stop real quick. The one where it says it doesn't make sense because she was born in 1981. There is an article that was written about her that states her birth date is 1985. So that wasn't part of this PR campaign. There is an article that's been out there for fucking years where her birth date was given as 85.
So she's either 38 or 42.
Yes. Now she claims it's 81. I've seen that more often. I've always gone with the 81 myself. I think the other one either was somebody screwed up through a typo kind of thing, or they just got their information wrong. Either way, it's such a minor thing for him to even bring up. Where are we? That she was trafficked 2 times, which she only talks about sometimes. I don't have enough proof that she lied. We have proof that she lied.
Yeah.
I believe her. I don't need anyone to feel the same I do about her story, but I would like to see people switch up the way they mindlessly attack someone without even hearing the alternative point of view. Stop, twat.
We've heard her talk, and then we've seen what other people have written about her before she said these things.
Alicia says, I've never seen this girl, but I keep hearing about her. I'm not even going to bother. Okay, imagine a trans female in their teens obsessed with anime 30 years from now, never changing anything about themselves. That's what she looks like. Oh, although she is actually a woman. That's what she looks like. No offense, Eliza. I got to keep saying that when I talk about that whore.
Well, she wears a lot of makeup, so.
Doesn't he mention somewhere in here? I think it's in this where the scars she's gotten from being a hooker.
The spackling on makeup is not a scar.
The hook scars. She's got testicle face, and then it takes a lot of makeup. You can only take so many balls to the chin before it starts to leave a mark.
It gets permanent. You get permanent indentations.
Look, can we talk about this one last thing? I'm sorry. I got distracted by Alicia there. This paragraph, I believe her. I don't need anybody else to believe her. You're supposed to be there covering her, doing a profile on her in regards to all that's going around. That was what you were there for. You were going to find the real story. I don't need anybody to believe me. Look, it's not a matter of belief. What can you prove? What can you prove? Because I can prove she's told different stories.
Yeah, that's not that hard.
Her original thing that comes out, the Daily Wire piece, right? This is what makes her big. And then she goes on to this Tough Love podcast, where if you go over there and read, it will tell you she was trafficked for 15 years, something she has repeated herself. She switched that to be, no, I was trafficked for 9 years total. And that happened over 2 different times. And I was a hooker with a very mean pimp who would beat the shit out of me and throw me downstairs and knock my teeth out. But he also let me do my own thing most of the time.
Yeah, and he had a dental plan.
Yeah, he must have, because her teeth never once showed any. Knock out one of them crowns. Let me see, sweetie. All right, where are we at here?
In this land of insanity, that's where we are.
It's clear that the loudest critics of her story hardly read. Well, here's the thing, homie. You don't have to read. Most of her story you can watch.
Oh no, maybe he meant reading the Hardly Boys.
Maybe.
Oh, I got raging.
I got a
Clue.
clue. My clue's pointing over here. My clue's pointing at her ass.
I'm gonna have Clue go all up. Best Hallmark episode.
I love that fucking episode. It's so ridiculous. Not the fucking Hardy Boys. Anyway, it's not about reading her story. I mean, you can watch her, and this is the chick who, while talking about children being trafficked for sex, is doing goofy little wardrobe changes in the middle of an interview.
Yeah, the little cowboy hat really kind of takes away from the seriousness of a topic like that.
This is the chick who over and over and over again says, I didn't even want to ever get outed, but I definitely don't want to be famous. Who has taken every fucking interview she could get. Who went to Tim Pool to talk about Andrew fucking Tate. You know, because she was representing the people that, you know, Tate had been mean to.
Yeah.
This is a chick who started a podcast. You can still find it on YouTube, so that she could tell the stories of people who had been trafficked, because nobody was listening to her when she had one of Epstein's victims, and she was trying to get them on bigger shows, and she never had that much trouble getting on a show before, Jack. And so she started her own so that victims could have it. Oh, wait, nobody's watching? Yeah, I'm going to stop. It's a real thing. Look it up. She did like 8 episodes. But she's just about the victims, Jack. It's not about no fame involved. She doesn't care about that. It's not the money. She only made $93 from that Hotep Jesus insanity that she did. That cringy fucking, I'm not even getting any of the money for this. Anyhow. Most of the worst things being said about me, except for a handful of all of you, are all small Twitter accounts that follow the gang stalker and his associates. For the record, I haven't seen anything Manuel has posted since he'd gotten kicked off that one time. I didn't even know he was back.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. I don't pay that close of attention to this insanity.
Everything, and for the record, my cousin follows him. I don't think I've read anything from Manuel on Ranting Monkey. So all of this that I've seen about you, Shane, comes from you retarded dickhead. Where are we real quick? We're almost done, guys. Almost done. The evil thought that the gang stalker whispers into your brain. Wow. He's fucking Voldemort, man. He who shan't be named. Oh, all right. The evil thought that the gang stalker whispers into your brain radicalizes you into becoming foot soldiers, enlisting gleefully into the mob. You think you're fighting for good, but I believe you've been enlisted into an evil army. The internet is a wasteland. The modern world looks nice with all its shiny tech. We attribute so much. Oh my God, this keeps going. Fuck. We attribute so much horror to early civilizations in terms of barbarism, but our own barbarians lurk in the shadows of the digital wasteland. Is he in the shadows or is he out in the open? Because you've said both, you fucking idiot.
Look, reading too far into his creative writing alliterations will only confuse people, Monkey, because none of this makes sense because this person is unhinged, I think, in my opinion.
They don't try to hide it. They're in the shadows. It can't be both.
Technically, if everything is shadows, you're not hiding because everybody's there. I don't know. This doesn't make any damn sense.
I guess you can be out in the open and there's a big tree and there's a shade on you, which is technically a shadow.
I don't know. This person's
like he's hiding in the shadows. He's not trying to hide any. I mean, he's literally said both of these things.
Yeah.
We attribute so much horror to earlier civilizations and barbarism. Our own barbarians lurk in the shadows of digital wasteland. Now I can see a few of the faces of the engineers of this simulation. If we can identify their tactics, I think we can move on. Doesn't mean we shouldn't ask questions when we feel like someone is lying to us, but I'd like to see us reject the mob blame bloodlust.
Allow me to sum that paragraph up. We're breaking the conditioning.
Holy fuck.
He's in the Matrix, yo. He's like Neo and shit. He's going to figure out all the tactics, man, and get by him, see?
We are all better than that.
Are we? I don't think I am.
I'm totally not. You guys know me and my love for drama. Even if this didn't have deeper implications like with the censorship bullshit, I would be laughing at all this shit. The chick out here who's supposedly been trafficked is actually a hooker who is now claiming that she's been trafficked because people have used pictures of her from a video that she set up and had shot after she says she got out of trafficking. And she considers that to be, what was the crime? I forget, the IMDb or whatever the fuck the initials were. Internet look at the dirty whore syndrome or whatever it is. She's insane. She's a liar. She just wants fame. And she finally found a way to get it by pretending she'd been trafficked, by making light of people who had actually been harmed.
This is digital trafficking, monkey.
The cat dragged a dove into the house as the sun came up. It was my last day in the Quad Cities. It was strange on Twitter because it seemed like, by the way, guys, he's going back to what he's supposed to be writing about.
Finally.
How many what was that? 5,000 words?
Oh, easily.
Before he ever gets to the point?
Yeah, this is a rambling disaster field. But, look, monkey, you should just listen and believe to this victim lady who claims that she's a victim, even though there's no evidence. She was digitally trafficked by people distributing photographs from a music video she consented to and encouraged to be released. So we should listen and believe. I hope this dude got at least a blowjob.
Faithless says, didn't Twitter fact check her saying her latest claim was irrelevant to being digitally trafficked? No, yes and no. Twitter themselves didn't do it. What those are I don't even know how you do it, but people get into this program where you can put basically it's a fact check on this kind of stuff and like give context.
Notes or something?
Community note, yeah. And that's what was put on there and pointed to the actual definition of what that is. Because she's full of shit. Just like her being trafficked. She was not trafficked. She was a whore. She was a prostitute. I'm not being mean. That's not a joke. She was a prostitute. And she went back into the life after supposedly it happening to her when she was almost 18, is what she tells us, Jack. We don't actually know what time that happened. We have, depending on when you hear it, she's like a naive 17-year-old or she was almost 18 when she goes to LA. And then 2 days later, she's already turning tricks for a guy she just met. As she's become addicted to meth after 2 hits. I don't know. None of her story makes any goddamn sense, but she was a prostitute. She wasn't trafficked. It was strange on Twitter because it seemed like nearly everyone thought Twitter Bleu. So the amount of blue check marks, bought Twitter Bleu. So the amount of blue check marks stalking me was astronomical. You think people are paying $8 a month to bot you?
Sure.
I like that it watered down what was once a badge of honor for some. I walked the Northland farm property with Eliza looking for that free Tesla. So apparently she claims she never got a free Tesla. So if she didn't, I'd like to apologize for getting that part of the story wrong. I have no idea. But he walked the property with her. There's no way it could be parked anywhere else. See, everything she owns is at that farm at all times.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, otherwise that would make her deceptive monkey, and she's just a sweet, innocent victim. How dare you question that woman?
She definitely couldn't have gotten a car and got rid of it. These things can't happen. I'm not saying that did happen. I'm just saying there's alternatives for it not being on the farm.
But down on the farm, that's like the Bob Evans way, and nobody goes against Bob Evans.
So, but honestly, I don't know if she actually got one or not. That may be something I got wrong. Godzilla, thank you. When crazy interviews crazy, sad and hilarious. Oh, this next part is actually stupid because this is
whole
one
thing
of
is stupid. What are you talking about?
Well, in where he's actually talking to her, though.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Did you get money for that humanity house, that safe house you started? I asked. I said I wanted to start a safe house. I never accepted donations for it. I didn't. I had extra mattresses when I had moved from my grandma's house down to that house. That is actually in contradiction to what she said on Twitter. You can actually look it up still.
Yeah. I'm sure somebody probably archived that too.
I heard you accepted grant funding, I said. I didn't apply for grant funding. I didn't make it a 501c3. You don't have to be a 501c3 to get grant funding.
No.
You can actually get grants for public.
Yeah, there's all kinds of crazy grants for stuff like this.
You would just have to pay taxes on the grant you got. This was at a time when survivors were contacting me. It was winter and COVID was happening. Restaurants. Wait a minute. I'm trying to remember the date on the screenshots that I saw. Was it wintertime? I don't remember. Because I want to say, hang on, now I got to look. Fuck, I didn't save any of that stuff, so now I got to look up that crazy bitch.
Ha ha.
I know. It's my own fault. It's what I get for not saving shit.
You're right. You should be overly paranoid and save everything in case the gang stalkers try and delete it from the internet using their super PR powers.
It was in that thread that I had linked this morning. Fuck. It'll take me forever to try to find that. Oh, well. I don't remember the dates on it, but she's telling us it's winter of COVID, so we're winter of 2020. Anyway, COVID was happening, restaurants were closing, and a lot of survivors and other folks were bartenders or servers at transition jobs because you don't have a resume. So people were hitting me up like, yo, I can't pay my bills, like I'm getting thrown out of my place today. During the rent moratorium?
Yeah, when nobody was getting evicted.
People, they were, that's weird. All right, cool. And they went pretty quick on the like the unemployment and stuff with special with the restrictions removed and stuff. People were making money hand over fist during COVID.
Yeah.
They're actually trying to get some of that money back now, Jack. Good luck.
Yeah, good luck tracking all those billions down.
And I'm like, I'm not going to let survivors go underwater. What was I going to do? Put them up for a little bit? It wasn't an official organization. I couldn't do it for long. This was an emergency, she said. Yeah, I mean, that's all the proof I need, her saying it.
Yeah, hey, well, I mean, listen and believe. Did
you do this? Nah. All right, I guess you didn't.
More likely her mouth was like...
We talked about the idea of the PSYOP and how these people could create AI porn to seek revenge and or shame those they seek to destroy. Why would you talk about that? It's you're literally making that up. Is it possible? Sure. Did that happen here in any way anybody can point to? Nope. And she's on record as saying that there's no porn on me, or no naked pictures of me out there yet. It's early in the day. That was on the Michael Malice show. She was a high-priced call girl, according to her, or a dirty little slut. Depends on which one you want to take it. There's likely dirty pictures of her somewhere out there.
Oh, quite likely.
They'll probably make violent AI porn with my face, she said.
Or it already exists, and that's your cover story is, oh, that's a deep fake.
I've heard of stories where kids' faces have been put on pornography, I said. I bet you have. I bet you have, Shane. He's really worried about some skeleton in his closet. I'm just guessing to which one it might be. No, that's totally not on my hard drive, dude. I was doing research.
That was planted there by gang stalkers.
It was a big case where they were selling pictures of a child that was taken off Facebook. The picture was put on on a sex doll that was sold on Amazon, she said. Told her about how I saw a story about how someone online crying as they watched AI porn of themselves. It was completely simulated. He's talking about that, the one that Ethan Klein was laughing about the other day.
Yeah, the pretty little blonde girl.
Her likeness on a digital version of herself. I also thought that the story could be fake. My suspicion of everyone and everything after 2 weeks of this madness has certainly damaged what little trust I had already had in people. Why does this story do that to you? Nothing about this story is fake, except for Eliza. I mean, I guess that could shake it, but he seems all invested in her.
Yeah, I don't know.
The laws, I'll have to catch up to that, she said, because what folks will have to decide is whether or not they consent to their likeness being used for pornography. I mean, as long as if you're distributing it, sure. But if it's somebody doing it for their own personal gratification, I don't think there's anything to really do about it. It's one thing if you're putting it out there for other people. I mean, at that point, it's actually defamation. It's defamatory.
Yeah.
Go ahead and sue the shit out of them for it if you can find who did it. I'm not on board with this shit. That's fucking horrible to do to somebody.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
I just don't understand why the prick is talking to her about it. It makes there's no reason to. Nobody's suggesting that the World Star Hip Hop thing is fake. Nobody's suggesting that all the modeling photos are fake. Nobody's suggesting any of this is fake.
She said it's balls deep fake. And look, this guy's hoping to get laid. Come on.
Is that something we're going to have to change in terms of services in these platforms? Under the current system, the government is going to have to legislate around that, so people will have to decide, especially celebrities and influencers will have to decide if they consent to their images being used for AI porn. I also think that a lot of people probably won't mind too much, but a lot of others will feel violated. You're also going to have to accept whether or not you're okay with someone killing the virtual you or strangling a virtual you and how that'll play out. What? This sounds like we're going to have a real conversation about deepfakes, I said. I don't like government regulation, but when it comes to this stuff, it's going to be a very sensitive conversation. We're going to completely erode reality with AI. It's done. What the fuck are we talking about here?
I don't know.
You could be asking her questions and finding out if she's a liar.
It could be, but we're talking about gang stalking here for some reason. Digital AI deep fakes.
I mean, we're almost done, so I don't want to give up yet. But Jesus Christ, there's multiple answers here for this conversation. We're functioning from within a society where the world and the government is currently the way that it is. That's a deep, deep take there, Eliza. Things are as they are.
Things are the way they are.
Or we could be functioning under a society where Twitter and the corporate tech companies like Meta and all of them are gone, and it's not on platforms, but a more decentralized system like on the blockchain, because there's different answers for all of it, right? We need to get ready for all those possibilities it depends on which routes we go down. We have to be ready for all of them. Wow. There are evil crimes happening that seem to be beyond the scope of law. We don't, as a society, know how to handle it, I said. I hope these are direct quotes, Jack. I really do.
They probably are. I bet this idiot recorded this entire stupid conversation.
We can't even get a proper reporting process on Twitter without somebody new buying the platform. So that's why I'm always insulted by the fact I even need to have these conversations. There's so many other conversations I want to have. I'm just trying to do the work, she said. She's a nonsensical motherfucker.
Yeah, well, it's like listening to Kamala Harris, but in casual conversation. Like, if she cackled, I would not be shocked.
Did we find who writes Kamala's speeches here?
Maybe.
Fuck, man. The internet's going to die, I said, stuck on the idea that AI is a nightmare. No, it won't, Eliza said. I wouldn't be bummed if the internet didn't exist. I would be like, dang, it was nice to Google how to spell neighbor. I also like just kicking it with my family after work, playing with the dog.
That poor dog.
Which work? What is her actual job?
I don't know.
I think the internet's already dead. I think it's a corpse, and we're all commuting in and out of it all day. It's populated with a good deal of real people, but we share it unknowingly with armies of bots and gang stalkers and all manner of predators. Sweet Jesus, wait till he finds out what the real world's like.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be awful. He's going to have to interact with others, and they're all gang stalkers and robots, monkey. Probably Russian robots, too. They'll be like, Das Vidanya, and he'll be like, ah!
A lot of people started to reach out to me in private about their experiences with Eliza as an advocate. I think it's worth sharing a few of these since other people who hate Eliza keep hitting me up demanding proof of her advocacy work. Norma Brienne told me after watching an episode of Timcast IRL in 2021, I was compelled to reach out to his guest that night, Eliza Bleu. I found her on Twitter and saw more about her advocacy for survivors of sex trafficking and activism against child porn and Pornhub. I have an account with Pornhub and deleted it after I learned what they were doing. This opened a conversation between Eliza and me about my history in the adult industry, specifically BDSM.
Oh,
we spoke on the... Go ahead.
Wait, what? Read that again. She's in BDSM videos?
She was in apparently BDSM porn, yeah.
Oh, gross.
We spoke on the phone multiple times, and she gave me resources I needed to leave the adult industry. I had been groomed at the age of 16 by my 26-year-old boyfriend to become a dominatrix in Hollywood. Eliza offered support and advice on how to adapt to a life outside the adult industry after years of feeling stuck. For this, I'm very grateful that I've been able to move forward in life, transitioning to a healthy lifestyle that I had long desired for well over 20 years. In 20 years, you couldn't figure out how to get a different job?
Like Will said in chat, who the fuck makes an account on Pornhub?
This woman, apparently. Maybe she has an account because she uploads videos of herself beating men. I don't know.
Yes, I don't know, but I'd be willing to bet some of that's going to come out eventually. Somebody's got that on their hard drive and doesn't realize it.
I just think this is weird that, I mean, okay, so here's one of the people that Eliza's done advocacy work for. That doesn't mean anything to me. No offense, because it doesn't change what she did or what she's been lying about. I've said all along, man, if she's helping people get out of actual being trafficked, which this chick wasn't, she was 16 at the time. She's been doing it for 20 years. That makes her 36 years old, and she hasn't figured out how to get away. We're not even talking about somebody who's being, I'm using air quotes here, trafficked at this point. This is just a person who's doing adult filming as a dominatrix, which probably doesn't actually involve too much sex.
Yeah. It's mostly like spanking people and
Yeah.
I don't know, beating people, putting your foot on their face. I don't know. It's a weird thing. Not my deal.
I talked with Amanda Jean, who does advocacy work alongside Eliza. They've known each other for several years. She shared how they helped to coordinate the rescue of women from bad situations. They set up a way. They have the Underground Railroad for whores.
Yeah. I believe that's called the Horde Ground.
They set up a way for an advocate closest to the women to meet her and take her to a safe place with a bed.
As opposed to a shanty in a field.
That sounds like they're grooming. I also spoke with Lisa Haba of the Haba Law Firm. Haba is representing John Doe and number 1 and 2 versus Twitter, the case that Eliza's pinned to her tweet profile. Eliza Bleu took interest in the case that we filed on behalf of the 2 young boys that were sex trafficked. Yeah, this is a case that she globbed onto after it was already in court. She has what does that prove, fucker?
Yeah, she's a hanger around, just like a lot of people with the like Daddy 05 thing.
On behalf of the 2 young boys that were sex trafficked, sextorted, and then had a compilation video depicting their abuse published on Twitter. When the family asked Twitter to remove it after providing the age of the minor child, Twitter refused and continued to profit from this abuse until law enforcement intervened. Eliza began tweeting about Twitter, the unchecked and extensive amounts of child porn on the platform, and began calling out for accountability. Unlike others who have tried this, Eliza was able to get to speak with Twitter's leadership. Weird, she says she has no in. Frosted, thank you. Not a railroad unless you run a train on it. Fair enough.
That train is HO scale.
Unlike others who tried, Eliza was able to speak to Twitter leadership after it was acquired and has been instrumental in representing the voice of survivors. That doesn't mean literally anything. Nothing. She globbed onto them after it was already known. And good for her for trying to bring attention to it. But she's hardly the only one. And it is questionable how this chick, who has no real credentials for anything besides being a prostitute, was able to get in with the higher ups at Twitter to talk about this.
Well, sucky go a long way.
Drew Cook is the founder of Libertarian Party Sober Caucus and also the founder and board president of an Oklahoma City-based harm reduction organization called Shred the Stigma. When I decided to start up the harm reduction organization, we deliver Narcan and other equipment to active drug users in our community. It was obvious to me within the first month that we were definitely delivering to areas where sexual exploitation had occurred, and 100% had no doubt what to do about it. No idea what to do about it or how to approach it. He wrote, the scenarios weren't something online back then. What? Some online back and forth. This is real. This is boring the shit out of me. Eliza was a huge source of information for us. Did you try the police?
Nah. Can't trust them. They're in on the gang stalking.
Thanks to Eliza, since July 2022, we've provided referrals to shelters for 4 people. Well, good. But never mind. I just can't. I asked Drew if Eliza ever got paid for the work for him. Eliza never once benefited financially in any.
Right.
Another fair criticism of Eliza is that she admits not having the best memory. Isn't that convenient?
Super convenient.
Not having the best memory, there are gaps in time and some of the details are unclear. I asked Annie from Hookers for Jesus what she thought about that. Here's what's really common with trafficking survivors. A lot of them have disassociation. I've had that. We can't remember our timelines because we were high and getting dicks shoved down our throat till we couldn't breathe. That's in the penumbra.
Oh, yeah, of course.
We can't remember our timelines because our brain is so traumatized. It's been so convoluted from the trauma. Okay, real quick, let's talk about Annie real fast. She got into hooking. She was her own private hooker most of her hooking life. She only had a pimp for a little bit. She was not trafficked. She was a prostitute. So all this trauma she's talking about, she did entirely to herself. Throwing that out there. Okay.
No, it's always a man's fault.
90% of the time to herself. It's been so convoluted from the trauma, your brain basically thinks it's danger 24/7 and there's no reprieve. Blah, blah, blah. Eliza preferred talking about the future. I bet she doesn't want to talk about the past. There's too many questions there that you're not smart enough to ask.
Yeah.
The year 2050 is imprinted in her brain. A deadline she has set for herself to end labor trafficking worldwide.
A period after she's dead? That's convenient.
Well, let's see. She's 40 right now. What? 27 years? So I'm guessing when she's 60 would be the time frame, right? 60 or 70. I can't do the math in my head right now.
Yeah, it should be 70.
70. We're going to be doing a whole new landscape as online digital exploitation goes. I think in some ways sexual exploitation, especially in the digital space, will be different, but it'll be more along the lines of what we're talking about here. We'll have to decide whether or not to consent to their imagery. Jesus Christ. All right, I'm done reading this. I'll throw the rest of it into chat. This is just fucking stupid. Why is Thomas Sowell brought up?
Really? You think that doesn't, like, Thomas Sowell's out of bounds with this kind of lunacy that we've been reading?
She does advocate for pimps having sex robots in the part that we just skipped over. Throwing that out there. The gang stalker might turn to me now with even more force, or any of the others involved in this thing. They might pretend like I don't know what I'm talking about, because you don't. They can say I'm crazy, because you are. But this happens. They continue to hack away at our digital profiles. I wonder, you know what? Fuck off. Here's the thing. Let's just wrap this up, Jack. None of this has anything to do with what Eliza's accused of. None of it.
No, nothing here.
It's this guy upset that people didn't bow down and just take his word for it because he's full of shit. He got mad because people pushed back on him. And apparently this is something that's happened to him before, Jack. Because apparently he's really stupid.
Well, at least he's honest.
I'm going by things I've read. I do not remember ever having read this guy before, but what people say about him, he's just kind of a fucking retard like this all the time. So, I mean, he's just mad that they didn't all bow down at his feet when he gave us Eliza's version of events. Which, by the way, he didn't even really give us. If you read part 2, which is the most in-depth of what actually supposedly happened and all this, anytime she's asked a real question, she changes the subject. And he's just like, see, she's right. It never happened. This is bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah. For those of you that aren't going to read the rest of the story, he does wrap up by talking about his kid coming home and asking about nuclear war. Because that makes sense.
Well, I mean, if that's his dad, it probably does. That's probably what he tucks him in with each night. They have microscopic nukes now, son. They're getting in your brain. Tim has become the story. Any gamer knows this. Tim's not really the story. He's a side story to it all. It's just weird, man, that article, especially that third part, there's just it's unhinged. I don't know a better way to describe it.
Yeah, it seems like somebody didn't take their meds.
Yeah.
I have something that may help you relax, though, Monkey. Help you cleanse your palate of this disaster.
I'm not quite done with this disaster yet, so hold on to that.
Okay, fair enough.
DeFango has risen. Long live Merlin, the gang stalker, heard round the world and grifter. Wow. All right, Defango. I don't know who this Defango guy is. This is weird though. He can't really believe all of that, can he?
Yeah, you can, because there's really insane people out there. The fact they pulled this story down, though, I can see why they pulled it down. This looks nuts.
Well, I mean, it is nuts. It's full of paranoid conspiracy theories. People are going to take over, and Tim would make a great guest on. I'd probably make him cry. Frank, thank you. Go listen to Alex Jones to get back to sanity. Oh, fuck, man. And he never does address some of the biggest criticisms there, like the actual who reported these people. Did you report them? And she switches. This is in part 2. She switches the conversation. It's never about what actually happened. And he's keeping that up, and he's going full on. I mean, I don't think we got to the line in there where he says about how he's standing up for her now as a man, which is funny because she had put out on Twitter, I need men to stand up for me right now.
No, I think she meant real men, not this lunatic.
She'll take what she can get, I guess. It's what she's done her whole life, ain't it, Eliza? Find a man and take what you can get. None of this had to happen. She could have ignored it. She could have went, yeah, that was me. I made mistakes when I was younger. It doesn't really matter. Because if her advocacy work, Jack, is actually working out, none of it really does matter.
Yeah.
Unless she is lying about her part of it, because that's scummy. And you can find people who aren't scummy who do advocacy work every day, who don't have fucking Twitter profiles or YouTube channels. They've never been sitting in front of 100,000 people being bullshitted the whole time. They're out there doing the work. Unsung heroes.
Yeah. Like a lot of people that do this kind of work are former trafficking victims. People that were ripped out.
Real trafficking victims.
Yeah, real ones. And if she tried to spin it in that way, it probably would have been more successful. Look, I did some things I'm not proud of. I just want to leave it at that. But no, she went and reacted like any Barbara Streisand type would and made it into a bigger deal than it needed to be.
Well, she's asked about the Streisand effect in the second article. And I actually agree with part of what she said. She said, just because the Streisand effect is a thing doesn't mean you shouldn't fight back against lies. True. Problem is, you weren't fighting back against lies. It's all real. And in the process, you've maligned several people who did nothing wrong, specifically the people at World Star Hip Hop.
Yeah, and Brittany Venti. We're standing up for Venti now.
Look, what she didn't do anything wrong.
No, she didn't. That's Brittany's a shit stir. She did absolutely nothing wrong here. It's amazing. Like the one time she doesn't try and court controversy, she gets in the most of it.
Yeah, I cannot tell you how shocked I was by her first video about this. Because she was over the top nice to Eliza. Maybe the gang stalker taught her that. Maybe that's one of the tactics he taught her.
Oh yeah, yeah. Be polite. That's sneaky.
It's disturbing. All right, what is our palate cleanser here? Because we do need to wrap up.
Oh, go to the last link and it's the video attached. Don't read anything in the text though, because
the very colorful one with the discs on it.
Yeah, it's a very colorful video. Yes.
Okay. It was hard not to look at that one because I hate this new thing where you can attach videos together.
Yeah, I do too.
All right.
Notice the floppy disks?
Yeah.
You can expand it.
Oh. Do I want to?
No, but
wait. Is that a Downsy?
Palette cleanser.
Oh my.
Where is my champagne?
Where's my bag? Where's my diamond ring? Where is my gin and tonic? Where's my martini?
I don't know what I just watched.
Down's drag.
I
honestly prefer the werewolf slam poetry, but you've made it a unilateral decision not to show that one anymore.
I feel like I was watching the best episode of Real Housewives ever.
No, these guys are smarter than that. Real Housewives sucks.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming and hanging out with us tonight. What the fuck was that? Can y'all be nicer to Downs people? Not us. I'm talking about the people who dressed them up like that.
Yeah, that's disgusting. Look, on a serious note, whoever did this to these kids is disgusting because you're messing with cognitively disabled people. That's
Foreign in chat says the next episode of MILF Manor gonna be lit. Thank you, Frosted Glass. They really dragged the show downs.
They did indeed.
That's fucked. Look, I'm gonna laugh because they put this out there for the world, but don't do that to kids. Jesus, man. But Jack, there's this idea that hey, they're Downs people. There's nothing different from them and anybody else. There absolutely is. You might as well have had Joe Biden in that video.
Oh, he wasn't?
No. He would have been sniffing them all.
That's true.
Thanks for coming in.
BO5.
Hanging out with us on this weird one. That guy, man, I wasn't expecting all that.
Right.
That Shane Cashman thing. I was not expecting all that. I'd seen some, and then it looked unhinged, but when you get to read the absolute paranoia of that article in all of its glory, fuck. Yeah. That guy should probably be in intensive therapy right now.
Yeah. Dude, I tell you, that was I could see why they took it down. I'm kind of surprised they did, but oh my god, as soon as you mentioned gang stalking, I'm like, yeah, we're gonna end up talking about this one.
Man, it broke me a little bit reading all that because I know there's people out there that paranoid.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I've run into them in the real world from time to time, and it's always it's a little unnerving when you do.
Yeah, because they're usually smelly homeless people.
I get the worry about things like deep fakes. I do. I understand it.
Sure.
Because then you have to try to prove that that's not really you. And all right, I get it. But what the fuck did that have to do with anything that happened? That sounds like something he should have wrote a completely separate article on that he was worried about, that he, without talking about the gang stalkers who are coming for him and can read your minds and hide in the shadows in plain sight while telling you what they're going to do because they know and they can figure you out because they watched everything you ever did, which, by the way, be vigilant, very vigilant. Did I mention vigilance? He even said in the article, that it sounds crazy saying it all out loud, and like, you should embrace that.
Yeah, that's a good impulse. You should run with that to a therapist.
Fuck. I don't know what. My brain is like stuck in neutral now.
Yeah.
Therapist may be a member of the gang stalkers. Probably is. They figured out, look, if we do all this, he's going to run to a therapist. So we need to have a gang stalker therapist in there to fuck with him more, to get more of his information. He's going to go into therapy being very vigilant about sharing any important information.
Right?
It's diabolical.
It really is. It's the circle of crazy.
Fuck. He needs lithium. At least some Xanax, man. Fuck. Xanax is a happy pill, man. I am glad it is by prescription only. I would be an addict. That is the best I've ever felt in my life. Swear to God, I didn't give a fuck about nothing. I was just happy. I am horribly claustrophobic. They stuck me in a MRI machine and they had to tell me, Frank, it's time to come out. I'm like, whatever. Like, you can leave me in here if you want. I'm fine. I'm gonna take me a nap. Such a
Xanadu. Nice, man.
It was. I can see why people get hooked on that kind of shit, dude.
Oh yeah.
It was just, I did not give a shit about what was going on. And I even, the weird part about it, Jack, I'm laying in this MRI machine, a machine I've been in many times and had to get out of because I panicked in there. And I knew I was in there and I knew I should be panicking. And I was like, I don't care.
I'll panic later, man.
Yeah. Like, I'll worry about that later. So like sleep, no, not like, it's hard to describe if you've never been there. Just think the most content you could ever be awake.
You're super mellow.
It just, I took Xanax for 20 years. It never felt good to me. Just not panicked. Like I said, horribly claustrophobic. And with the MRIs they were doing on me, Jack, not only did I have to go in this metal tube, but even worse, they have to screw this thing down over your neck to get the imaging for the neck.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was literally screwed to the table inside of this.
That's gonna
I've only ever done it one time without being on something. And that is just because if I didn't get the MRI done at that time, I was going to have to wait like 2 months because they were so backed up. And they actually called me about 3 hours after they told me there was going to be months before I could get in. They go, we just had a cancellation. Can you come? I'm like, I don't have pills. I was like, yes, I'll come do it. And that was the hardest 5 minutes of my life, dude. Because I was petrified. They give you a little ball to squeeze to let them know to take you out. And it took everything in me not to squeeze that damn thing.
They're like, sir, you're not even in yet. You're not even on the table. You need to stop.
The first time they put me in one of those, they got me in the machine and I squeezed the ball before they even turned it on. And like, can we at least start it? I'm like, get me out now.
You could at least go fuck yourself and get me out of here.
Get me the fuck out. I will break your shit if you do not get me out of here. Yeah. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for coming and hanging out with us tonight. Thank you so much for putting up with whatever the fuck that story was. God damn.
Yeah, that one took a while too.
He's a wordy motherfucker.
Well, crazy people usually are. And I think that guy's got some serious issues. That's just my opinion. I am not a professional.
Thank you for the donations. You guys are so very kind to us. We'll be back eventually. I really want to do a game stream, but that's gonna have to wait until I wake up. I'm exhausted, Jack. I've been up since way too long ago. I did not nap today. It's not true. I napped for about 10 minutes. Me and the middle little both fell asleep on the couch. I woke up after about 10 minutes and she woke up about an hour and a half later. I feel like she got the better deal. Yeah. But because of that, I am really exhausted. I'm going to go to bed. And then when I wake up, we'll do some Hogwarts. I know I want to do more of it, guys. I'm not putting it off for any particular reason. I really do want to play. I haven't even got to play that much offline. I've had my Steam Deck turned on with the game on and not actually played it because I can't play it on the Steam Deck. But I was like during the game tonight at commercials, I would run around and like collect plants. Yeah. So it's been on and I'm racking up hours, but I haven't gotten all that much done in it over the last couple of days. So I really do want to play more. We will get back to it. I promise, guys. Sorry about the gap there. Jack, anything you want to show?
I already dropped links a little bit ago. But thank you guys for the donations. You are my favorite gang stalkers. Stay awesome.
I think we're just going to wrap up at that. I don't have anything else to add tonight, Jack. So, guys, thanks for coming out. Jack, a pleasure as always, my friend.
Always glad to be here.
Have a good one, guys. We'll see y'all next time.
Bye, everybody.
That was a hold in the football game. Shane's a little crazy and my dick is pretty.